Well, hi, everyone. We are here at Tom Zanino Stadium at the campus of Vacaville High School for what they like to call here in Vacaville the Black and Blue Bowl. Well, David, my broadcast partner, Tom, the former Bulldog himself, has joined me in the broadcast booth. I'm Greg Poff, and a little bit later we'll be bringing in former SCSN broadcaster Zach Poff. Well, should be an exciting matchup tonight, David. We've got the Willsey Wood Wildcats. We got the Vacaville Bulldogs going at it. Got the inter-city rivalry, but more than bragging rights on the line tonight, especially for Willsey Wood trying to get a piece of their first ever Monticello Empire League Championship. Should be an outstanding game. Cats and dogs going at it. Fur's going to be flying. And David, who are some key players we should look at in tonight's game?
Couple key players for tonight's game is going to be Damon Lewis. He is the playmaker for this Willsey Wood Wildcat offense, has over 1,000 rushing yards on the season and 12 of Wood's 21 total rushing touchdowns. He is a great player. And on the Vacaville side of the ball, we have David Mewborn, also a great player, actually was highlighted with his brother in Sports Illustrated this week and Faces in the Crowd. He is their playmaker.
Well,
David,
look at him right there. Look at the speed.
The speed is
saw him
amazing.
In that game against Napa.
Oh, also over 1,000 yards and 18 total touchdowns on the season. Watch out for him to come up big for this Vaca High offense tonight.
Well, Damon Lewis and David Mewborn also really got the league rushing championship or title on the line. David Mewborn coming in 2 yards more rushing, a lot less carries, but Damon Lewis right behind him. I believe Mewborn 1,011 yards, Damon Lewis 1,008 yards. So we're going to see those guys battling for the rushing title in the middle tonight. And there you saw an example of the kind of speed that both those guys bring to the table.
That's exactly right, Greg. And David has gotten 1,000+ yards on 88 carries. That means he averages over 11 yards a carry. Every time he touches the ball, he averages a first down. He is a first down machine and a scoring machine for this Bulldog offense, and they must get him the ball early and often if they want to be successful tonight.
Another couple players you might keep your eye on. Tanner Donaldson, the sneaky little wide receiver for Vacaville, comes in. He's number 2 in receiving yards in the Monticello Empire League. And then you look at scoring. You got David Mewborn, number 1 in scoring, 115 points. Damon Lewis second at 86. Don't think Mr. Lewis is going to catch Mewborn tonight. So you're going to see some of the better players in the Monticello Empire League. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Willsey Wood. They've got some outstanding players defensively. You look at their 2 defensive ends, Frederick Douglas and Ryan Newells. Frederick Douglas, 12 sacks on the season. Newells on the other end, 6. Not too shabby for the bookend defensive ends for Willsey Wood. They're going to have their hands full tonight, though, David, trying to stop that vaunted rushing attack by the Vacaville Bulldogs.
And you know, both of those guys are great defensive ends, as you said. 12 sacks for Frederick Douglas, 6 for Ryan Newells. Both those guys are going to have a big game tonight. At least they should if they want to try to be successful. They have to stop this Vaca High run game. Also, you mentioned Tanner Donaldson, by far, Chad Hecking's favorite target on this Bulldog offense, has over 200 more yards than anybody else.
And when you look at the standings for the Monticello Empire League, as we said before, Vacaville already a share of the title, 4-0. Even if they lose tonight, they'll end up tied with Wood. Wood, on the other hand, a victory tonight gets them a piece of the Monticello Empire League title. Also, too, don't forget about the Crushers from Vintage. They've got a big rivalry game tonight, too, up in Napa. They're taking on the Napa Indians. And Vintage, with a win tonight, coupled with a loss by Vacaville, you would then have a 3-way tie for the Monticello Empire League.
We have one of those crazy trifecta situation going on with people having to lose and other people having to win for this to somehow be shared by 3 teams. I don't think that will happen tonight. I think Napa is going to beat Vintage tonight, and I also think this is just my perspective, my opinion.
Your unbiased opinion as a former Bulldog player.
That Vacaville will walk out of here with a win. It will be a close game. Both these teams very capable when it comes to running the ball. Willsey Wood definitely more balanced than Vaca High, though. Only 26 more yards through the air than they have on the ground, so watch out for them to go to their big wide receivers throughout tonight.
Boy, and I couldn't agree with you more, David. I think you look at these two teams, and this is the fourth Vacaville game we've done this season. You look at Will C. Wood, on the other hand, certainly an upstart team. Well, it looks like we're going to be getting ready for the national anthem, folks. And there you see the Will C. Wood marching band down on the field. Players getting ready on both sides of the field. Well, as you see there, boy, packed house at Tom Zanino Stadium. And David, it's got to be a little funny for you. We're over on the visitor side setting up for tonight's broadcast. And typically we're looking over at the home side of the stands. And typically we see all the black and orange, but not tonight. Will C. Wood, the home team, they're on the home side. We got all the orange and black here on the visitor side. Don't see that too much at Tom Zanino Stadium.
A little bit of a different feel tonight, but you know what? It is nice to see so many Will C. Wood fans turn out for this tonight. They've had it rough the last 16 years when it's come to this black and blue bowl. They haven't beat Vacaville since 1997, but the good thing is these fans for Will C. Wood have stayed loyal, stuck with their team, keep showing up. Each black and blue bowl every year is packed like this on both sides, so it's always good to see it.
And the games have really been one-sided. Really, you have to go back to 2008. That was really the only close game in the last decade, and that came down to a 28-27 victory by Vacaville. They actually scored with 40 seconds left, and then Coach Papadopoulos goes for the two-point conversion. They get it up 28-7. Wood gets the ball back. They get it to the Vacaville side of play, go for a 55-yard field goal. As time wound down, Jesus Oropeza barely missed the 55-yard field goal. In fact, we'll take a little trip down memory lane. We'll have the call of that one for you. Zach and I both did that game back in the early days of the Solano College Sports Network, back when we were called Solano Sports Radio. That was one of our first high school games. But other than that, it's been pretty one-sided in favor of the Bulldogs, but this is a different Will C. Wood team coming into this game. Last week they lost a game to Vintage, a game that most people expected them to win. That broke their 7-game win streak. And David, you mentioned, we were talking about this before the broadcast, probably just a case of Will C. Wood looking ahead to this game. I think we're going to see the real Wildcats of 2013 here tonight on the field at Vacaville High.
I think we will, and I really hope that we will. I'm hoping that this Will C. Wood team isn't experiencing a little bit of a hangover from last week, though. I think that is going to be the biggest thing for them to watch out for. They can play. I think they can play with this Vacaville High team. The biggest thing they're going to have to worry about stopping is, of course, the Mewborn twins, especially David on the offensive side of the ball. If they can do that, they definitely have a shot at staying with this Vacaville High team and walking out of here with a win. First time in 16 years. If they do, it would be a great thing for this Will C. Wood program. I actually had a chance to talk to Coach Mraz about that, and he said it would be a gigantic victory, a huge thing for this program if they were able to walk out of here with a victory tonight.
And, David, I know you had a chance to talk to Coach Mraz before the start of the game. Did he have any thoughts on last week's game?
You know, he just said that they had to get back in the film room last week. That was the main thing they needed to do, to just get in there and fix a few of the small mistakes they were making. You know, he pointed out that, yes, they had too many penalties. Yes, they shot themselves in the foot a little bit with some of those little messy mistakes, but they cleaned that up through a good week of practice. He said his guys are excited, extremely ready to go, that it should be a great game.
Well, you look at the Will C. Wood schedule, and they started the season way back in early August with the loss to a very good American Canyon team. Then they were able to reel off 7 wins in a row and then lost last week to Vintage, as we said before, ending that streak. But still, Wood comes in tonight 7-2 on the season. That's the most wins they've ever had in a season. So a lot for Wood tonight. They get a win, most wins they've ever had in a season, first piece of the Monticello Empire League, and really sets them up. They actually, when you look at all of the seedings just in the San Joaquin section, they are the lowest seeded team thus far, so they could actually end up with a pretty good playoff matchup. If they win tonight, they would be here at Tom Zunino Stadium. So really, you look at this game, both these teams playing for a first round home game in the playoffs, which will start next week.
Definitely, and I talked to Coach Mraz about the playoff implications of this game. He and Coach Pop both referred to it as a must-win. For the Bulldogs, they have to win if they want to have a home playoff game. For the Will C. Wood Wildcats, they have to win if they want to share a portion of the Semi-L title. There's a lot on the line for both teams tonight. I think they're both going to be playing the hardest game that they've played all season. And it's the first time that the Black and Blue Bowl has really ever had any implications at all besides bragging rights. So that's exciting for me to watch because it's actually going to affect something in playoffs and in the title when everything's said and done at the end of the night tonight.
Well, there you have a look of the captains for both teams, and they've just had the coin flip. And it looks like Will C. Wood will be kicking things off to Vacaville. Captains shake hands. There you get a look at number 9. We're probably going to be talking about that kid all night, David Mewborn. And folks, if you haven't had a chance to see this kid play, oh my, he is something special when he gets a hold of the rock.
You know, he is a great ball handler and just a runner, very fast, not very shifty. He doesn't like to juke very much, but he just has great game speed. He looks at you and says, I'm going to come straight at you, try to catch me. I'm either going to run around you. If you come and bang, I'm going to run right through you. He's a big, strong kid. He can do both.
Well, certainly the Napa Indians would agree with that point. 269 yards the last time he was here at Tom Zunino Stadium. He's going to need another big effort tonight against the gutty Will C. Wood Wildcats. And folks, you can feel the energy here getting pumped up. We are just about ready to go.
And I just want to point out as we talk about David Mewborn, don't forget about Damon Lewis. He is going to show up big also. He wants to make a statement tonight and show that this town has 2 very capable running backs in it.
Also, too, we haven't talked about this yet, but senior Tyler Bailey, number 4 for the Wildcats, he as well will need a big-time performance tonight if the Wildcats want to come away with a victory.
And Tyler's been very consistent throughout the year. He's got 1,000-plus yards on the season. He's thrown for 14 touchdowns. They need him to be a good game manager tonight. And that's what Coach Mraz referred to him as. He's a good game manager, and so did Pop. Said he's very good at managing his team.
All right. Fans are on their feet. Will C. Wood, a little shifting going on. Adam Cunning, number 17, he's going to kick this one off. And here we go. Black and Blue Bowl is on the line. A little squib kit picked up at the 20. One of the Vacaville runners dragged down by number 24. Nice play by Dominic Wycliffe. Probably be calling his name a lot tonight. One of the outside backers for the Wildcats.
Smart move by the Wildcats special teams, not kicking to the playmakers that Vaca High has at both return spots back there. Both those guys can turn it on, make you miss. If you make a mistake, they'll take it all the way.
All right, quickly, the starters on offense for the Bulldogs. Offensive line, Stevie Gomez at left tackle, Trevor Stewart at left guard, the center, Alden Borja, right guard, Clayton Kazurza, and this kid is fast. He gets around and pulls a lot for Mewborn on a lot of those sweeps. Right tackle, Dalton Spears. Tight end Jeremy Sweeney will be lined up at one end, and wide receiver Tanner Donaldson the other. The quarterback junior Chad Hecking, and in the backfield Daniel Mewborn, David Mewborn, and probably Connor Canellis as the fullback. Here come the Bulldogs. Wildcats set on defense. Hecking, as usual, lines up right behind center, and he's got one of the Mewborns. He stumbles and falls right about the 15-yard line. So that was Daniel Mewborn, the halfback. Took the handoff from Hecking, and you were talking about this. Sometimes the field here at Zunino, the best tackler, certainly that was the case on that run.
Right around this time of the season, towards the end of the season, the field really starts to play an impact and have an impact on the game. Like I said last game, it was the top tackler of that game.
All right, 2nd and 9. They give to Mewborn again. He fights to get to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a yard. And so Vacaville, as they'll do all night, they're going to run the rock. They are one of the best rushing teams in all of Northern California. This Wood D is going to be tested, but thus far, 2 stops in a row, going to have to do it one more time if they want to get the ball back.
And this Vaca High team is going to stay with the run early. This is who they are. This is their identity. Great running team, always have been.
All right, there you see Mewborn in motion. Hecking fakes to him. He's going to throw, but he's dropped for a sack. I think that was Frederick Douglass coming. No, Desmond McIver coming in on a safety blitz, making the tackle. Good speed by the senior.
Coming all the way up from that safety spot to come up with a huge sack on 3rd down to force this Vaca High team to go 3 and out on their first possession. That's huge for this Wilsey Wood confidence. Huge for this team's confidence going in.
So Hecking, he's going to drop back. He does double duty, both the quarterback and the punter. There's the snap, punting out of the end zone, and it's a pretty high kick. It's going to land right about the 45-yard line, and fair caught by Desmond McIver. So Wood, good field position as they get ready for their first possession on the evening. And just to set up the starting lineup, the offensive line for Wood, Trevor McKenzie, Alex Benning, Gabe Moya, Jalen Soto, Andrew Galvin. The receivers, Arthur Jackson and Desmond McIver. The slot backs, Roderick Douglass and Aaron Herbert. The quarterback, Tyler Bailey. And number 13, Damon Lewis, will be the running back. There you see Bailey in the shotgun. Lewis next to him. Snap goes over his head. And Bailey's just going to fall on it. And good decision. So that time, Gabe Moya, the center, just hiked it over the head of Tyler Bailey. No opportunity for the 6-footer to bring that one down.
Definitely not the way you want to start out your opening offensive drive with a bobbled snap, actually a completely botched snap straight over his head. They need to get that under control. Center needs to calm himself down a little bit, remind himself where he's at, get that ball in Tyler Bailey's hands.
All right, that's going to bring up 2nd and long. Bailey back in the shotgun, wide receivers on both sides, gives it to Lewis, tries to get up the middle, goes around to the far side, nothing doing. He's met by a host of Bulldog tacklers, led by number 45, Abigail, and we'll probably be calling his name a lot.
And this Bulldog defense, they've done a great job of it all year. Gap control at the front, at the defensive line. They just force them to string that out. Damon tries to cut it back, but there's a guy there waiting for him to make the tackle. Great job playing the line.
All right, so only 3rd and 31. Snap goes to Bailey. He's going to drop back. He's got time. And now he's going to throw over to the near sideline, and couldn't tell if it was caught. Doesn't matter. Out of bounds. And that was number 22 for the Wildcats, Tristan Keegan, trying to make the reception. And so just like that, Wood's going to give it right back to Vacaville.
So far, we have 2 3-and-outs on both teams. Back to even. See if these guys can't get something started here on the next one.
And certainly with that first snap, Wood just showing a little bit of the jitters. Big game. Guys want to get out here, get those nerves under control, and start playing football.
Definitely.
All right. So Bailey back as the punter. Nice high kick. It's going to land right about the 40. Takes a Wood bounce, and a couple Wildcats going to watch it. It's going to stop just inside the 25-yard line. So Vacaville is going to take over right about the 24-yard line.
You know, it looked like Jonathan Burke, number 22 for Vacaville, almost had a chance to punt that ball, but pulled up just at the last second. Trying to avoid getting a roughing the punter penalty, but I've always been told through my years of football we're okay with aggressive penalties, just not stupid penalties. I think he should have gone and laid out a little bit for that one.
All right, so Vacaville's second possession. They take over at the 24, and it's going to be an end around to Mewborn, and he gets to the outside, cuts in, breaks a tackle, and gets it all the way to the 40-yard line. Nice run by Mewborn.
David Mewborn running with some authority. You see how he hits that corner, turns it up, and just turns on the open field speed. It's like he hits another gear once he turns that corner, and using his blockers perfectly. You see him put his hand on the back of his blocker and make it cut one way or another to pick up a couple more yards at the end.
Vacaville up quickly. This time a fake. No, they're going to give it to the running back. First guy through, and he's met by a host of Wildcat tacklers.
And, a lot of this game is going to be won and lost in the trenches. Both these guys need to get movement at the line. I talked to Coach Mraz about it. He said that they absolutely needed to get some movement from their offensive line because last week they had a little bit of trouble with that. Couldn't quite get Damon opened up.
All right, this time Hecking, and it's a fumble. Ball's on the ground, and a Will C. Wood dives on it. Number 45, Jordan Boyd, the sophomore middle linebacker. And we didn't talk about this at the start, but you look at that Wood loss last week really based on those 3 turnovers. Turnovers are going to have an impact on this game, and huge turnover by Vacaville on their second possession.
Huge turnover by Vacaville, but they have to have a short memory. Get that out of your head so that you can come back and continue to perform the way you have the entire season. David's a better running back than that.
Hecking faked to about 2 guys before he gave it to Mewborn, and I just think the handoff was not clean. All right, so here goes Will C. Wood. Bailey fakes. He's dropping back. He's going to throw it deep. He's going to his receiver. I think it was Keegan. He falls down but makes the catch.
If Keegan doesn't slip right there, that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. Daniel Agbigay almost comes up with a huge sack, hand in Tyler Bailey's face. I'm surprised Tyler Bailey was able to get that ball off and get a complete pass right there.
Well, that's a tough matchup for Agbigay, the middle linebacker, dropping back on one of the speedy slot backs for Will C. Wood. So now Wood first and goal knocking at the door. Bailey in the shotgun. He's ready. He gives it to Lewis. He cuts up the middle, and he is in for a touchdown. Will C. Wood on the board first. Wildcats up 6-0.
I know right now when these guys get off the field, Pop is going to tell them, all right, now we got a game. This is an opportunity for you to show up, answer back. It's all about how you react and respond in these situations.
Well, we saw what happened a couple of weeks ago when Nampa jumped up big on him.
And that Vaca High team showed that all they need is one big play to make it a game again. Get right back in here.
Benning in for the PAT, and it's good. So Will C. Wood off the turnover, fumble in the exchange between Hecking and Mewborn. Wood comes up with it. Don't waste any time on the board first, up 7-0, 7:41 left here.
I'm a firm believer that turnovers are the most important stat when it comes to football. Whoever wins the turnover battle will usually win that game. Turnovers are going to be huge tonight.
And important, too, I think, for Wood, especially after last week with that slow, sluggish start, to get off to a quick start, get on the board first, and to capitalize on the turnover by the Bulldogs.
And, that touchdown right there, you really saw Damon Lewis's vision as he sits back there and works, as his O-line works something out for him, finds the gap, hits it hard, gets in the end zone for 6.
Well, he's not big either, 5'6", 165 pounds. He gets lost behind that offensive line.
It's almost an advantage for him at that point to be that small. You can almost just run under his center's legs.
All right, little squib kick by Benning, going to be fielded by one of the Bulldogs, and getting around to the near side, past the 30 to the 35, and finally dragged down. Jordan Boyd again. Boy, he's all over the field. He's doing it on defense from the middle linebacker position, also doing it on special teams. Kid's only a sophomore.
Definitely. If I'm Chris Santapadre at this point and I'm looking at this Will C. Wood kickoff's tendencies, they don't want to kick it to my guys in the back. I'm just going to move them up. Force them to get the ball to them. Move my other 2 guys that have capable hands, can't catch the ball, move them back, get the playmakers up, get the ball in their hands.
All right, there you saw Sweeney in motion over to the strong side, and Hecking gives it to the second guy through, I think, and up to the 40-yard line, pickup of about 3 yards, and on the carry, that's going to be Daniel Mewborn, the brother of David.
And after that fumble on the last offensive possession, it's really how these guys are going to come back and respond to that. I'm interested to see what happens in this offensive drive.
Vacaville up quickly, as they usually do. Man in motion. Hecking's going to go back. He's being pressured by McIver, but able to get it to one of his receivers. But he's dropped by Aaron Herbert, maybe picked up about 2 yards on the play.
If anything. Great job of this Will C. Wood defense to recognize and sniff out that screen. They recognize that we're getting a little too much pressure than we should. This quarterback's dropping back a little quick. Screen is probably going to be dumped right over the top of my head right now. Did a great job getting back to make a play, though.
There you see Connor Canellis coming in. He'll play fullback a lot tonight. In Vacaville, they switch a lot of guys at the running back position. So Canellis in motion. Hecking has the snap. He's going to throw over to Donaldson. He's got it, but immediately tackled. Wood is tackling way better than they did last week. Excellent tackle there by Ryan Newells, the defensive end.
That was a huge thing that Coach Mraz was preaching to me as I talked to him earlier tonight. He said, we have to wrap up. We did not tackle well last game, and we need to make up for that this game. If we have any hopes of stopping David and Daniel Newborn, we have to wrap up and tackle well. That's what they're doing so far tonight.
So 3 offensive possessions by Vacaville, 2 3-and-outs and the fumble. Hecking's going to punt this one away, angles it to the far side of the field. You see McIver over there just getting out of the way. Benning also over there as well, and so the ball is going to stop right about the 28-yard line.
Now, momentum is residing definitely on the Wilsey Wood side of the ball right now. Let's see if this Vacaville defense is able to stop these guys, grab a little bit of that momentum back for the Vacaville side.
Well, Napa jumped on them 14-0 just like that. Boy, what an entertaining game that was. Don't know if we'll see quite as much scoring, but who knows? Wood ready. Bailey fakes it to Lewis. Throws over the middle. He's got a receiver. Arthur Jackson goes up and makes a grab. Connor Canellis over there to bring him down, but nice job by Bailey. Bailey looks very comfortable in the pocket early on, and that is huge for Wilsey Wood.
He's looking very confident. He has to be. Last game was a little tough for him. He's got to have his confidence back if he wants to have a good night tonight.
All right, this time Bailey once again. He's going to line up in the shotgun. Damon Lewis back there with him. Vacaville set on defense. Here's the snap. He gives it to Lewis. He's looking for room. Gets to the far side of the field, past the 40, up to about the 42. Nice bit of running before he's finally brought down by Daniel Agbagay, the middle linebacker.
And Lewis is so small that you're right. He's almost able to hide behind his blockers, and the defense sometimes has a hard time locating him. He's able to just slip up in there for a nice chunk of yardage because no one can really find the little guy.
Not quite enough for the first down, so it's going to be second and short. Actually, Bailey ready in the shotgun, gives it to one of the other backs. Didn't see who it was. It wasn't Lewis, but whoever it was, enough for the first down. I'm going to guess that that's Julian Zendehaas, who usually comes in replace of Damon Lewis.
Julian Zendehaas running hard. You see him take on that hit from a Vacaville linebacker and absolutely plant him.
He scored the only touchdown last week against Vintage. So Bailey set. There you see receivers on both sides. Fakes it to Zendehaas, throws over. He's got a receiver. That's going to be Roderick Douglas, and he's finally driven out of bounds. And that's going to be past midfield right about the 44-yard line.
I'm interested to see how these Vacaville DBs deal with Arthur Jackson, Desmond McIver, and the rest of these very capable wide receivers on this Wilsey Wood team. We already saw Arthur Jackson go up and make a great play, take a hard hit and hold on to the ball. They can play some football on that side.
Yeah, Wood has got some athletes on
both
sides of the ball. Tyler Bailey set. He gives it to Lewis. Lewis looking for room, cuts up, gets about 5 yards on the carry, going to be enough for the first down. So Wood in business, and nothing fancy. They're just driving right through the Vacaville D line, and you got big Jeremy Sweeney, Irving, Lamau up there, and all those linebackers. But that O-line by the Wildcats doing a pretty good job here at the start of this game.
And Coach Mraz, I talked about it a little bit earlier, was saying that they absolutely have to have their O-line moving bodies at the line of scrimmage if they want to get Damon Lewis into open space.
All right. Bailey set. This time he's going to give it to Lewis. Going to the near side. Cuts to the far side. He's got a little bit of space and gets outside. Gets it up past the 35-yard line, probably about the 32. Not going to be enough for a first down, but boy, is it close.
This Vacaville D-line needs to step it up a little bit right here. They need to keep the Wilsey Wood guards off of their linebackers so that their linebackers are able to scrape across plays and get to the gaps in which Damon is choosing to cut up.
Well, you got Jeremy Sweeney and Chris Irving, Jeremiah Lamau, the nose tackle, and yeah, there you see the defensive line ready to go, but they jump off sides unless they were drawn. Let's see what the official says. That's going to be encroachment. That's going to go against Vacaville. That's going to be another 5 yards, and Wood now has the ball right about the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs.
It's perfect time to try to do that. These guys, they've heard it since they were in Pop Warner. Hold your water. Watch the ball. Do not go off the hard count. Wait for movement. And they just need to get these jitters out of their system, remind themselves where they are, calm down a little bit here.
And if you look at that Vacaville defense, David, a lot of times they're going to have 8 guys up in the box.
They are definitely focused on stopping the run.
There the defense spread out, though. Snap to Bailey. Pump fakes. Now he's going to the near side, and he throws it. Oh, McIver goes up and can't come down with it. Connor Canellis, I think, was on the coverage.
Good coverage by number 44, Connor Canellis. Saves another touchdown for Wilsey Wood.
You can hear the boos there. The Wood fans don't like it much, but I think good no call by the official, especially in a game called the Black and Blue Bowl. Let the fellas play.
Exactly.
All right, so 2nd and 10. Ball right at the 29-yard line. Here comes Wood, Tyler Bailey. He also plays baseball, pretty good baseball player, hit over 300 last year in the outfield for the Wildcats. Pretty good arm in the outfield. I hear he's pretty accurate. Let's see if he can throw an accurate pass here or if they elect to keep it on the ground. Jackson in motion. They're going to throw over to Douglas, but too high over his head. And I think that was Burke, one of the DBs, coming in to upend the little wide receiver, Roderick Douglas.
And I like what Burke does right there. Completely clean, legal play, but you got to hit him in that situation. He touches the ball. Make sure you hit him so he doesn't want to catch it again. Don't try to hurt him, but try to hit him hard. Roderick Douglas, I don't know how many more hits like that he can take and come down on his hips that hard and keep playing at the caliber and the level he plays at.
All right, well, 3rd down and 10. Bailey set. He's going to drop back. He's looking for one of his receivers, and he throws it. He's got him. That's going to be enough for a 1st down just about the 20-yard line. Nice throw by Bailey.
Just barely able to bring that ball in while still in bounds. That was very close to being incomplete because of out of bounds.
And I was kind of blocked by the pole on the play, but I think it might have been 22, Tristan Keegan again on the reception. So that's 2 big catches for Tristan Keegan for the Wildcats.
And right now, the fact that this team is so balanced is really starting to affect this Vaca High defense.
All right. Wood set. Shotgun. Give to Lewis. He's got some room. He's going to get to the end zone. What a move he put on Mikal Walker. Juke to the inside. Busted to the outside. Pay dirt again for Damon Lewis. That's 2 on the night. He's telling David Mewborn, I can run a little bit too.
It's a great job by Tyler Bailey to read that defense and let Damon take that ball. He was thinking about pulling it, saw an opening, a huge opening to the right. Damon takes advantage of it. Easy 6 points for Wilsey Wood.
Boy, you're absolutely right, David. And you could see Bailey as he had the ball in Lewis's gut, as you see the extra point. And it's good. And his eyes were on the defensive backs to see where they were going. Then let Lewis have it, and he knows what to do when he gets the rock in space.
And I don't know if this has ever happened, at least since '97, Wood being up 2 touchdowns to nothing on Vaca High with time left in the first.
I can't remember for sure, but I know the game in 2008, Wood jumped on top early, and they were leading for most of that game. In fact, I don't think Vacaville took the lead in that game until you were inside 1 minute when they scored. It was a run by Jimmy Hines. Then Markel Williams was able to get the 2-point conversion. Vacaville finally up on top 28-27. And then Wood, of course, tried to kick that 55-yard field goal. But you're absolutely right. That's the only time I can ever remember Wood being ahead in this rivalry.
And both Jimmy and Markel, great players, and both playing at the next level now. Markel's at Sac State. Exactly.
Well, there's a kick by Benning, and he gets his foot into it. Bulldogs going to take it back at the goal line, and he falls down again. Once again, Tom Zanino Stadium bringing down another Bulldog.
I'm telling you, this field is a great defensive player, and it plays defense against everyone. It does not discriminate. Vacaville, Wilsey Wood, it'll trip you no matter who you are.
Well, the Bulldogs need to get something going offensively, if nothing else, just to hang on to the ball a little bit and keep it away from the Wildcat offense. This time Hecking gives it. I think that's Mewborn trying to get to the outside. If he does, it's going to be trouble. Just gets around the edge and dragged down by a Wildcat.
Number 6, DeMonte Mora, the junior halfback on the run. He's one of those secret weapons for this Vaca High offense. Kind of under the radar, but once he gets into space, he can be just as good as Damon Lewis is in space.
Boy, absolutely right. And we saw him in that Napa game with a couple big runs as well. Number 6, DeMonte Moore, another talented running back in that stable of running backs here at Vacaville.
It looks like there was a holding flag on the play. Is going to a block on the back is actually going to be the call.
So they get a nice little run, nothing doing, penalty, moves it back. All right, so Hecking backed up, and he gives it to one of the running backs, and he's tackled back near the goal line. Boy, from our vantage point, David couldn't quite tell. There you can see that was close to being a safety.
I thought it was a safety, Greg. And, you know, this Vaca High team has to stop shooting themselves in the foot. First, we have the turnover, goes for a touchdown for Wilsey Wood. Then we have the stupid penalty that brings you back and negates the first down. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. Get some momentum going here. Run the ball. Do what you do best.
Well, this is going to be a big down here. Hecking going back. Gives it to one of his running backs. That's got to be one of the Mewborns with that kind of speed. And busts it up. At least gets a little room getting it to the 15-yard line.
That was David Mewborn. You can see he runs hard. You can't take him down with an arm tackle or usually even one tackler. You need multiple guys on this dude. He's a great ball player. Not enough for the first down. Let's see what they do here.
So it's going to be third down. I was confused. I almost said third down on the last play. Forgot about the penalty. So now it's going to be third down and probably about 11 yards.
And, you know, they've been relying on the run. Let's see if they don't try to dump it over the top, maybe a little screen play action pass. They're going to try to get this Wilsey Wood defense a little off balance right here. You see him calling a timeout. Pop wants to get something beautifully designed in there to give them the best chance of success.
Well, if it was me, the beautiful design would be give it to number 9.
It's always a good plan. That's always a good plan.
And so this game, kind of reminiscent of what we saw 2 weeks ago here at Tom Zanino.
Definitely.
Napa jumped up in the first quarter, 14-0, and then that second quarter, Vacaville trying to get back into it, Napa trying to keep that 2-touchdown lead. I think that first half ended up like 45-35, but all Vacaville in the second half in that one.
If there's anything that Vaca proved in that game, it's that they only need one play to get right back in it. So watch out. All they need is one big block, and they could be right back in this game. We could be looking at 7-14 in a matter of one play.
All right, well, 1:09 left in the quarter. 3rd and 9 for Vacaville. Haven't picked up a first down yet. Going for one now. Hecking back. He's going to throw it. He's got a receiver. He's got one guy to beat, and it's not going to be enough for the first down. We'll see where the officials mark it.
Looked like DeMonte Moore on the reception. I was surprised. I thought Chad was trying to find Tanner Donaldson.
And I think the tackle was by Aaron Herbert getting over there from his outside linebacker position. That was a nice tackle.
And even if this isn't a first down, if it's close, if it's within a yard, I would not be surprised at all to see Coach Pop go for it right here.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I think they'll bring the chains out. We'll see. It's hard to tell that ball all the way on the other side of the field, so we're kind of lining it up with the chains on the near side.
It looks like if it's not going to be a first down, it's going to be by about a link on that chain.
All right, well, the officials trying to get things squared away. There you have a look at the Vacaville Pep Band, and boy, they're excited tonight. This city always gets fired up for the Black and Blue Bowl.
The whole town loves this game. It's been a tradition for years. Everyone comes out for it. It's always fun, and it's a great thing to be a part of. I was able to be part of 4 of them while I was here, and it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling to see your crowd packed, your stands packed on both sides. It's always fun.
And Carlos Moraz, too. I mean, you look at the job he's doing with Wilsey Wood. I think he has the opportunity, if he just keeps doing what he's doing, you're going to make this into and more equal rivalry because, as we talked about, it's been all one-sided. Vacaville's won 16 in a row, but Carlos Meraz, the head coach in his 4th year at Will C. Wood, 22-18, and so he's got a chance, too, to get a win tonight, get a piece of the Mel Championship, and that would do wonders, I think, for really evening out this rivalry.
So it looks like they're going to be short by about a foot, and I would not be surprised at all to see the Bulldogs go for it right here.
Boy, that's a pretty gutsy call. Already down 14-0, but
I think Pop wants to let his team know that he does believe in them, has confidence that they can go out and pick up this yard.
All right, David, I think you're right. They're going to go for it. So
and watch out for this line to just nut up, get down low, push hard, and someone's just going to come and fall through the top.
All right, Stevie Gomez, Trevor Stewart, Alden Borja, Clayton Kazurza, Dalton Spears. That's the O-line. They give it to the first guy through, and he's got it, and more. Nice run up the gut. And let's see, that's going to be Connor Canellis. Boy, you need some tough yards. Give it to the junior running back,
call.
number 44.
Great call to give the ball to Connor Canellis. He's one of those hard-nosed dudes that's just going to put his head down and run behind his shoulder pads. And I love to see him get up in there, pick up the first down and a little bit more.
And I believe that's the first down for Vacaville in this game.
Absolutely
as we're getting near the end of the first quarter. This time Hecking's going to go back to throw. He's got Donaldson, but he doesn't throw to him. He throws to DeMonte Moore, and he makes the grab just past the 50-yard line. What a throw by Hecking.
DeMonte Moore, great throw and catch. DeMonte Moore able to have the awareness to grab the ball before going out of bounds. As I said before, one of those secret weapons for this offense can really just come out of nowhere and have instant impact.
And he had Donaldson open on about the 30-yard line, but elected to go to DeMonte Moore, shorter throw, get the first down. This time he gives it, I think that's to Moore again, and he's dragged down maybe a yard on that play. Derek Diaz, a little nose tackle or little defensive tackle, making the stop.
And, you know, I had a chance to talk to Pop about DeMonte earlier in the season. He said that DeMonte is really starting to get that varsity strength, and that varsity level strength is really complementing his already varsity level speed.
Well, that's going to do it. We're at the end of the first quarter. Will C. Wood up 14-0, folks, and definitely off to a great start. Opportunity to get their first win in 16 years. Last time they had a chance was 2008. With the clock winding down, they had a chance for a 55-yard field goal. And here's the call on the play by former broadcaster for Solano College Sports Network, Zach Poff. Let's give it a listen.
Going for the field goal. The 55-yard
How's it going, Zach?
From Jesus
How are you?
on this one.
Oh.
This is huge.
Well,
get out your rosaries. This is another kind of Hail Mary.
Okay.
Good snap. Kick us down. It's got a chance. And it is no good.
And of course,
well, there you heard it, Zach. I know you're ready to get in, but I'm going to bring you in. Folks, welcome to our Solano College Sports Network broadcast booth. Our former broadcaster and now working for Max Preps, Zach Poff. Zach, take it away. Thanks for being here tonight.
thanks, Bart. I'm glad here to do the second quarter right here with my boy David Taub. And I know you're not happy to see Will C. Wood jump out to an early lead, but an important drive right here for Vacaville.
They're starting to fight back. They're coming back now, getting a little bit of their identity, starting to get some success from the run game. Let's watch if they don't drag this drive out a little bit, end it with 6. That'd be nice for them.
And Coach Pop letting Hecking throw the rock a little bit here, and it's very important against a Will C. Wood defense who gets after the ball. Important to keep Will C. Wood defensively kind of on their toes, not knowing if Hecking's going to go back and actually throw the rock.
And something this Vaca High offense needs to do a better job at is ball control. They've given this ball back. Now they have had 1 fumble and 2 3-and-outs, so they need to hold on to this ball, get some ball control, take some time off the clock. Last game, they were able to control the ball for 35 of 48 minutes, and that really helped them to a 42-point victory over Rodriguez.
And partner, he did that crazy Napa game, and we know anytime David Mewborn gets his hands on the rock, he has a chance to take it to the house anytime. He's had a couple of runs where it looked like he had a good chance to take it in, but Will C. Wood doing a good job of tackling here tonight so far.
This field also doing a great job of tackling here tonight. I think 3 guys have gone down just from slipping and or tripping on this field.
So Vacaville's got it in Wood territory for the first time here tonight at the 49-yard line. And Vacaville, a team that's averaging nearly 40 points per game, shut out in the first quarter, but moving the rock here. And Will C. Wood probably the best defense in the Monticello Empire League. They're number 1 in points allowed so far this year, just right over 20 points per game allowed, so doing a good job here in the first quarter.
And really the heart of this defense is at the linebacking core. These guys are leading the team in tackles. I believe 2 of them have 83. Another one has 104 tackles on the season, and they really are the leadership behind this defense.
So finally, after a long break after the first quarter, first play goes up the gut, and that's DeMonte Moore on the carry. He picks up close to 9 yards. So that'll bring up 2nd and short.
And, you know, that's just because Alden Borja and Trevor Stewart picked up some great blocks for DeMonte Moore right there, moved their guys out of the way. They got little Derek Diaz right out of the way for DeMonte.
My mistake, partner. That was 2nd down, so now it's 3rd and short, and it looks like they pick up just enough for the first down. Looked like that was 24. Kane Cunningham on the carry.
And, you know, these little chunks, picking up these little chunks of yard in the run game is crucial. It's going to grind down, like you said, the best defense in the Monticello Empire League. If you can keep them on the field, tire them out, you have a chance to then get them some fatigue, burn them over the top big.
Hecking gives this one up the gut. And a shoestring tackle. Nice job by 45 for Will C. Wood. Jordan Boyd, the linebacker there to get the tackle. Gain of about 3 for Vacaville.
Fell forward for about 1.5 yards, so they will pick up 2nd down at the 45. Or the 35, I'm sorry.
And DeMonte Moore has done a good job kind of spelling both the Mewborns here on this drive. Play action, Hecking. He's got a man wide open, and it's caught. And his boy Donaldson there gets thrown out of bounds, and he's really one of the best wide receivers in the Monticello Empire League. Over 500 yards receiving this year for Tanner Donaldson.
Tanner Donaldson, he's actually 2nd in the Monticello Empire League in receiving yards. As you said, 567 receiving yards, and is really Chad Hecking's favorite target on this team with 200 more receiving yards, 200-plus more receiving yards than the next closest receiver for this Vaca High offense.
And as you mentioned, partner, if Hecking's throwing the rock, it's usually going to 1-5. They fake it inside, give it outside. DeMonte Moore has it, and he gets inside the 10, right around the 9-yard line.
This is a huge thing for Vaca High to be able to have multiple guys come in here, have success on the ground. DeMonte Moore, very successful on this drive, and letting David get his legs back under him, get some freshness back in his legs, come back out here. If you can do running back by committee, you're a very dangerous team.
This time they give it to Mewbourne. He breaks the tackle, loses the ball in the end zone. And it looked like Will C. Wood jumped on it as Mewbourne looked like he was going in to score the first touchdown for Vacaville. Will C. Wood indicating they have it, and they do, so they will get the rock at the 20-yard line. Big-time turnover for Vacaville once again.
So
that'll be a touchback. The referee gave the wrong sign right there. He gave the safety sign, but obviously it's going to be a touchback. Wood's going to get the rock at the 20.
And, you know, David is hurting right now. I see him walking over to the field, disappointed in himself. That's the 2nd time he's fumbled tonight. The turnover battle is going to decide the fate of this game. Will C. Wood already has 2.
And Mewbourne, he seems like the type of dude that's going to come out on the sideline and be a little frustrated, but he's going to definitely put this team on his back later on. And
you know, he needs to have a short memory. Get that play out of your head so it doesn't affect every other play after it.
So last time Wood forced a turnover, they put 7 on the board, up 14-0. 10:01 left here in the second quarter. Shotgun, Bailey gives it to Lewis, and he is tackled in the backfield for a loss of 1. Jeremy Sweeney will be wrestling for Cornell next year. They're on the tackle.
And Damon Lewis gets acquainted with the linebacking core for this Vacaville defense. Daniel Agbigay, along with number 40, Wyatt Faulkner, who is one of these impact players for this Vaca High defense, meeting Damon Lewis right at the line.
And so far, Damon Lewis has had himself an excellent first half so far with 2 rushing touchdowns. Tyler Bailey, the senior quarterback, has also made some good throws so far, and he's getting close to setting the single-season record for most passing yards. Airs this one up. He's got a man, but out of bounds, incomplete pass. That'll bring up 3rd and long.
Looks like just a little bit of miscommunication between quarterback Tyler Bailey and wide receiver Arthur Jackson. Arthur was looking for the ball in one place. Tyler tried to put it in another. They really need to get on the same page if they want to have success through the air.
And Arthur Jackson, one of the sophomore studs on this young Wilsey Wood team, 361 yards receiving and 4 TDs on the year for the sophomore stud. So 3rd and long. Woods offense likes to spread it out. 5 wide receiver set. Shotgun for Tyler Bailey, the 5'9" senior. Throws this one out route, and this one intended for Roderick Douglas, incomplete. So excellent job by Vacaville's defense to force a 3-and-out after the fumble by Mewborn.
And, you know, playing the pass game is going to be huge for them. They don't usually have, or they haven't been, you know, had a reputation for having the best DBs in the MEL, but these guys are really going to have to step up to try to defend against a very capable and very talented Wildcat receiving corps.
So Bailey still on the field for 4th down. The punter for this squad also, a line drive kick, and takes a Wilsey Wood hop at the 45, and it's going to roll all the way to about the 25-yard line where it'll stop. So maybe a mistake right there for Reed Ramirez. Got to be able to field that one. Gave up an extra 15 yards.
You know, right there in that type of situation, Reed Ramirez, number 35, really needs to get away from that football. If I'm a Wilsey Wood Wildcat on that punt, I'm going to grab him by his jersey, pull him right into that ball, and pick that thing up and go to the house for 6. When you hear Peter, get away from that thing. That is poison. Do not be anywhere within 15 yards of it.
And that's the last thing you want right now for your Vac, but you can't afford another turnover here. And
that would be about the last thing this Vaca High team needs right now.
the turnover margin always seems to be the biggest thing in any football game at any level, and so far it's proven here. And they give this one, try a little end around to Mewborn, and he gets tackled for no loss. So far, Daniel Mewborn's had a couple of nice runs, but Wilsey Wood's defense has done an excellent job containing Mewborn and really hasn't had that big-time run so far.
And I talked about it a little bit in the first quarter. I had a chance to talk to Coach Mraz earlier tonight before the game. That was something he was preaching, wrapping up, form tackling, and bringing him down.
Hecking looking to throw, eludes pressure, rolling out, has room to run, picks up about 8 yards, so that'll bring up 3rd and manageable. So excellent job by Hecking there to get outside and pick up as much as he could.
And Hecking's a big, strong quarterback for only being a junior. He can take that ball, turn it up, run, and show you what he just showed you right there, that he can take a hit.
And you get a look right there as David Mewborn, the senior running back, has 2 fumbles. One of those was turned into 7 points for Wilsey Wood, and the second one, Wilsey Wood 3-and-out. Vacaville has the rock now once again. So 3rd, and we'll call it 4. Hecking play action. Gets hit, and he is dropped in the backfield for a sack, and that is one thing Wilsey Wood's been doing all year long. The 36th sack now on the year for Wilsey Wood, league leading in the MEL.
And it looked like number 7, Desmond McIver, was involved along with a whole bunch of other Wildcats. These guys taking a page out of Vaca High's book and really gang tackling tonight.
Desmond McIver set to field the punt, angled towards the sideline, and takes a Vacaville roll, and it's going to carry him out of bounds right at the 27-yard line. So that is where Wilsey Wood will take over. So outside of that one drive Vacaville had where Mewborn fumbled it inside the 5-yard line, Wilsey Wood's defense has done a stellar job so far here in the first half.
Well, it's all about how he's going to respond. It's all about how he's going to come out the next offensive drive and perform. He can't let those couple turnovers ruin the rest of the night for him tonight.
And you think last week Wilsey Wood's 24-6 defeat against Vintage, you think they're overlooking Vintage maybe? Vintage a lot better this year, but still a team that's usually kind of a pushover in the Monticello Empire League?
I definitely think that's what happened. I think they were looking forward to this week and got trapped by Vintage.
Tyler Bailey, shotgun, throws it out to Lewis in the flat. Gets to the outside, and he is close to the first down marker as he is taken out of bounds for, looks like, about 9 yards. Actually, they're going to go ahead and give him 11 and a first down.
And Damon Lewis's speed makes him so dangerous. You see Drew Chitwood playing that play textbook, staying on the back hip so he can't be cut back on. But the problem with that is he just looks at you playing his back hip, turns on the second gear, gets it into 4th gear and just goes.
My mistake, partner. He did pick up 9, so 2nd and 1. He reminds me of a guy that's playing for the New Orleans Saints, Darren Sproles.
He does have
Shifty
that
running
Darren
back.
Sproles type body.
So second and short, shotgun. They give it up the gut. Vacaville can't contain them. Past midfield and into Vacaville territory at the 43-yard line as Julian Sendejas there on the carry.
And Julian Sendejas just refuses to go down, fights his way through a party at the line of scrimmage, and picks up a first down and then some.
And right there, that's where Vacaville needs to contain the runner, get him down, force a 3rd and 2. Instead, Wilsey Wood gets a big-time game into Vacaville territory now.
Vaca High needs to do a better job winning first and second down. They're leaving Wilsey Wood very manageable third downs, 3rd and 2, 3rd and a foot, 3rd and a yard, and they need to win first down so that Wilsey Wood is looking at more 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and long situations.
That's the biggest difference in the game. Vacaville's been in those type of situations, and Wilsey Wood has had 2nd and short, 3rd and manageable. Looks like we're going to get a timeout. Wilsey Wood. So 6:56 left here, second quarter. Wilsey Wood up 14-0. 2 touchdowns for Damon Lewis.
You know, and this Vaca High passing game has largely been absent tonight so far. Last week against Rodriguez, they were able to score 2 touchdowns through the air on only 9 attempts. I was able to talk to Coach Pop on how to carry that efficiency over to this game. He said the kids had a really great week at practice and that they're all coming in as prepared as they can be for this game. But I got to think with how the scoreboard is showing it right now that they kind of let off this week, maybe pulled their foot up off the gas a little bit. Was thinking maybe Wilsey Wood isn't everything that they've been talked about to be, especially after that loss to Vintage.
And this just shows you the type of team that Wilsey Wood is. A lot of teams get blown out like that. 24-6 would come in kind of flat this game, but they had a lot to prove, and so far they've proved it here. Still early, and you guys were talking about that 28-27 Vacaville win back in 2008. Wood got out to a nice lead in that game also. So after the timeout, play action, Bailey, middle of the field, and this one is underthrown, intended for Roderick Douglas.
And, you know, this Vacaville defense needs to get a little bit more pressure on Tyler Bailey. Largely, there's been nobody in Tyler Bailey's face all night long. You need to hit that kid and let him know we're coming for you. So he's got that sitting in the back of his mind. Tyler's sitting back there completely confident right now, throwing beautiful passes, dimes that are just easy receptions for his wide receivers.
And coming into today, Bailey, 1,597 yards through the air. And off to a good start here. They give it to Lewis up the gut, and he gets hit hard and put backwards. Have a seat, young fella.
Drew Chitwood coming up and laying some wood. Damon Lewis, he's hearing some bells right now.
I mean, you don't see Lewis low to the ground used like that, so hard to knock that guy backwards right there, but whoo, what a shot for Vacaville.
Drew Chitwood wanted to come up and make a statement.
Momentum right here. I know you're a former defensive guy. What does a big hit like do that defensively?
Well, when you see a big hit, when you see one of your teammates make a hit like that, it hypes you up. You want to go out there and make a bigger hit, show them up one time. So hopefully this brings a little bit more tenacity, a little bit more attitude to this defense. They start hitting a little harder, get some things going, maybe force a turnover here.
And they blow up the line right there on second down, and Sendejas pushed backwards. I mean, on third down, so now it's 4th and about 5. And kind of no man's land. You got to go for it here. You're at the Vacaville 36. I mean, you could punt it right here and try and get them inside the 10. But it's high school football. It's a black and blue bowl, baby. You got to go for it.
You got to go for it.
So important, 4th and 5 right here. Biggest play of the game so far here in the first half. They give it to Lewis. Actually, they fake it to him, and Bailey takes it, and nowhere to go. A gang of Vacaville guys there to bring him down. So Vacaville takes over at the 35.
Number 35, Reed Ramirez, way to get in there and make first contact, wrap him up, hold him up so that the rest of your guys can get to the party. Good job on 4th and 5 to force them to turn over on downs. A little bit of a momentum shift maybe. Maybe they can supplant a little bit of that defensive attitude onto their offense right now.
And now you got decent field position, getting the rock at the 35-yard line.
Great field position.
And right here, I know Coach Pop knows what he's doing, but let's get number 9 going here on this drive. This time they take it up the gut, pick up about maybe 3 yards. And I believe that was more on the carry again.
This Wilsey Wood defense much more tenacious than I have ever seen them. Playing much harder form of football, especially from when I was here. The defense was always a little bit soft on Wilsey Wood's team, but they are playing like a real good football team right now.
2nd and 8. Give it up the gut. Big time hole. Breaks the tackle past midfield. He's got a chance down the sideline. Kane Cunningham stays in bounds. Spin move. You can put it on the board. Big time TD run. Mr. Kane Cunningham.
Kane Cunningham, one of those guys you don't usually see busting big runs like that. You saw him. You saw the speed go a little bit at the end there. Able to fight his way into the end zone. Stumble on in. Hit a little spin move at the 5-yard line. Get his way in there for 6. Huge play for Vaca High. Right back in this game, 6-14.
And Kane Cunningham, a guy they've used a little bit this year, but nothing like the Newborns. He had 283 yards before that. Big-time touchdown run. His 4th rushing touchdown of the year now for the junior Kane Cunningham.
And Kane's one of those guys you usually feel his impact a little bit more on defense than offense, but making a huge play for his offense and his team right there.
Extra point is up and good, and just like that, Vacaville cuts the Wood lead in half. Now 14-7 with 4:54 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Big time run for Kane Cunningham. Big time score for Mike Papadopoulos and his Vacaville Bulldogs.
And you know what? That is a huge play for this team. The rest of these guys on the sideline that just saw that happen are now thinking, okay, we're back in this. Everything's good. They may have got up early, but we're right back here. We got this. This is our house. They may be the quote-unquote home team, but this is still Tom Zanino Stadium.
And that's the one thing with Papadopoulos in the past. There's always not just 1 or 2 guys that can run the rock. There's always 4 or 5 guys for head coach Papadopoulos and his running unit.
They always have a stable of very capable running backs here. They run the ball so well at Vacaville. It's their bread and butter, and all these guys are just taught these plays throughout their entire 4 years here at Vaca High. They can do them in their sleep if they had to.
So huge play for Vacaville there, kind of getting Uncle Mo now on their side. A little bit of momentum here on the sideline. It's been quiet here on the Vacaville sideline. It's weird seeing them on the away side because this is technically a Wilsey Wood game, but we won't get you going right here now talking about that, right, partner?
It is a little bit weird to see us on this side, to see the Vaca High crowd on this side. It wasn't always my favorite thing when it came to the Black and Blue Bowl, but
so a little pooch kick. Fielded by Desmond McIver, trying to bounce it outside, and he gets hit hard at the 30-yard line. The ball might have came out there.
if that's a fumble, that'll be huge for this Vaca High team. Picking up the ball.
It's Vacaville ball at the
31-yard
line. So big time hit. Ball comes out. The refs having a little discussion, but it looks like it's Vacaville's rock.
They're going to take the ball back right around Wilsey Wood's 30-yard line. Amazing field position. Right here, right now is when you get David Mubo in the ball and let him put you in the end zone.
And, of course, on the year, it's been an absolute beast. Over 1,000 yards on the season with 18 total touchdowns. So the first turnover forced by Vacaville. Big-time turnover.
Watch out. This play may be the turning point in this game.
You running it here, maybe go play action here. Let Hecking try and hit his boy, 15.
If I'm Pop, I'm either putting in David Muborn's hands or I'm play action into number 15, Tanner Donaldson.
Hecking under center. Muborn gets the rock, breaks the shoestring tackle, and he picks up about 4 yards. The one thing I do love about David Muborn, he's always going forward.
He is a hard runner. He reminds me a little bit of like Adrian Peterson's running style. He does stand really tall when he runs the ball, but he runs with extreme strength.
And it's hard for one guy to bring down Muborn.
Hardly ever do you see one guy bring him down successfully by himself.
2nd and 6. They give it to Muborn again. He's got a hole. Past the 20, cuts in, breaks the tackle, and he is going to take it in for 6. Partner, you called that one.
And David was not going to be refused the end zone on that play. He wanted to make up for those last 2 fumbles, get everyone back into this game, get his teammates on the sideline juiced again, and that play right there gets Vaca High back even with Wilsey Wood.
Looks like we're going to get a celebration penalty on Vacaville. So that'll push him back 15 yards, and of course, Coach Miraz has the option to do it on the extra point attempt, which he probably will.
And I
Or
was
he could
talking
do it on
about
the kickoff.
exactly. I was talking about David's running strength, how he just runs with such power. You see him right there, break an ankle tackle, just kick a Wilsey Wood Wildcat off him on the way to the end zone, refusing to be taken down. I love to see that.
And you said it, partner. Get the ball to number 9. Give
It's
it
a
to him
recipe
twice
for
and
success.
Takes it in for 6.
And that just goes to show David just needs one good block and he can put it in the end zone. He's a lot like Damon that way. Both those guys really just need one good block and they can make something happen for you.
Kick is up, and we are all tied 14-14, 4:13 left here in the second quarter. So in a span of less than a minute, Vacaville puts 14 on the board. Kane Cunningham with the 58-yard touchdown, and then Daniel, twin brother David Mewborn takes it in for the 26-yard score.
We're all knotted up here with 4:13 left. It looks like the Wilsey Wood crowd, is that mirrors that they have in their hands? Or what is that?
Do you ever worry about what Wood does? The
Not
players,
usually,
right?
but I'm intrigued. What's going on here with these lights?
We got to get somebody down on the sideline to figure out what's going on down there.
Gopher.
So just like that, Tides have turned 14-14, and partner, you called it. After the fumble, you said this is going to be a big-time play, and next thing you know, David Mewborn ties things up, 14-14.
That
now
fumble
Vacaville's coming back the other way, and they're flashing off their lights.
That fumble right there really, really could be the turning point in this game. That could be where, you called it, Uncle Mo might just go and hang out with Vaca High for a little bit.
And so far, they're hanging out right here, and it's 14-14. And it's rare that the Black and Blue Bowl is actually competitive, and so far we have that here.
Competitive even between the fans.
And I would say this is the best Wilsey Wood team they've ever had also. And, of course, he's mentioned partner, the fans going back and forth, flashing lights. Short kick, fielded at the 40.
Drew Chitwood.
Big time hit delivered on Jacob Ackerman.
Laying the wood tonight. This kid has not missed any opportunity to smack somebody. I love the way this kid's playing football.
And special teams for Vacaville, man, they are laying the wood. Forced one fumble on the last one, and right here, Jacob Ackerman delivered.
And like I said, you can see the defense right now saying they want to eat. These big hits build on top of each other, and they start to multiply.
And it started, as you mentioned, partner, with that big-time hit on Damon Lewis that held him to 3rd and 5, able to get turnover on downs, and since then, 14 unanswered. Lewis gets it up the middle. No one is going to catch the little man, Damon Lewis. He is going to take it in for the 60-yard touchdown.
David Mewborn almost catching him at the end. The one Bulldog anywhere close. I was going to say, let's see if Damon Lewis is affected by the big hit at all, and it doesn't look that way at all.
Man, Damon Lewis turned it on the afterburners, and once he got to the second level, it was over.
He just does such a great job at reading his blocks. He has amazing vision for such a young kid. Only a sophomore is able to read his O-lineman beautifully and take it up, cut it up where it has to be, makes huge plays out of great decisions.
And coming into this one, he was already over 1,000 yards. He's the first Wilsey Wood running back to do that since 2000 when Terrence Lee did it for the Wildcats. And it's been even longer since Wilsey Wood beat Vacaville. You have to go all the way back to 1997. They beat Vacaville 27-13, I believe. And that was actually the last game that Tom Zanino coached for the Vacaville Bulldogs.
16 years since they've beat Vaca High, and 13 years since they've had a 1,000-yard rusher. No doubt this is the best team Wilsey Wood has had in the last 16 years since 1997, and you really, hats off to them. You got to give these kids credit. They're a very young team. Out of their team, they have 11 underclassmen starting.
And then you look at Damon Lewis right there, probably their
huge
best
promise.
player.
Huge promise for the next couple years.
Their kid's only 15 years old, a sophomore.
Absolutely no reason at the end of his senior year he shouldn't be going on to play at the next level.
And two, I mean, talking about Wilsey Wood this year, they had a 7-game winning streak before they lost last week, and that's the first time in school history that they've ever had a 7-game winning streak.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah, Coach Mraz, man, this guy has done a tremendous job really turning this program over and making them respectable. And you got to love what's going on with Coach Hoffman out in Vintage also. They're finally getting a little more respectable.
Coach Hoffman, young guy, he's got a lot of energy, and you can really see it, rub off on his kids. And Coach Mraz said it. He's got a great group of kids right now. They've really bought into this system and are playing the way that Wilsey Wood has always tried to get their kids to play.
So,
These guys have just bought in 100%.
and that's always the most important thing.
Exactly.
If you're not going to buy in, you look at Tampa Bay Buccaneers for
Perfect example.
No one's buying into what Greg Schiano is preaching. Then you look at San Francisco, when Jim Harbaugh came into town, everybody was eating what he was preaching. It just shows.
Everyone bought in, and they go from worst to first.
Your squad up there, you bought in Jim Harbaugh quick, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, when I've always been a 49er fan. When Jim came, it was great. The turnaround was amazing. I mean, I was a Jim Harbaugh fan after the first game. It was great to see my Niners actually start to turn it around, right the ship.
And look what his former college team did last night.
Another good example. Stanford, long time bottom of the Pac-12 or Pac-10 at that point.
Right.
Now they're sitting at the top at I think number 3 right now, ranked nationally.
They were 5, but they're going up for sure now. Oregon was 3, but they might be switching spots. So it's 21-14 and a big-time run for Damon Lewis. I mean, Vacaville clearly had momentum on their side, and then one play for Damon Lewis takes it for the 60-yard touchdown.
If that Napa game shows us anything, though, it's also that Vaca High only needs one play to answer back.
They can score. They can score.
They can score.
So a little short type of squib kick. And Cunningham has it and breaks one tackle. And he's not going to break the second. He gets taken down at the 15-yard line. So heads up special teams play for Wilsey Wood there.
And, you know, this Vaca High team as a whole just needs to make some better decisions around the football to avoid giving up these turnovers. Because right there, just like that punt, it was almost a potential devastating special teams turnover.
Yeah, that was a tough ball to field for Kane Cunningham, able to get his hands on the rock. But
and let's see if they go right back to number 9, David. Seemed like a recipe for success. That's what I would do.
So the wing T offense back out there. Hecking gives this one. And I believe that was 30 on the carry. Nunez.
Demetrius Nunez, the first time he gets his number called tonight.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
And keep your eye on number 32 for this Wilsey Wood defense, Derek Diaz. Little guy, but he's hard-nosed defensive lineman. Reminds me a lot of myself when I used to play.
You got to throw out the top card, right? 2nd and 10. Hecking throws off his back foot.
Wide open.
Tanner Donaldson with a nice little hesitation move into Wood territory at the 48-yard line.
Tanner Donaldson trying to hit the limp leg on him, and the DB doesn't fall for it. But how did he get so wide open? There was no one around him for about 15 yards. Hecking, Donaldson, the connection is healthy.
38-yard pickup on 2nd and 10 for Hecking and Donaldson, and those two guys have been doing it all season long. As you mentioned, partner, I believe you said he was second in the mill in receiving yards.
Second in the mill in receiving yards.
They give this one up the gut. Cunningham again, breaks one tackle, has the first down, pushed out of bounds after the 14-yard pickup.
And that's just some great blocking from Clayton Kazurza and Dalton Spears over there on the right side of that line, opening up the hole for Kane Cunningham to pick up 10 yards and a big first down.
And Kane Cunningham, the guy that really got things going for the Vacaville Bulldogs, had that 50-plus yard touchdown run to put him on the board, and another nice run right there for Cunningham. Give it up the gut. I believe that might have been Nunez once again. Picks up about 3 or 4.
Picks up about, 3 or 4 on the play. And, you can start to feel these plays starting to build on one another. Getting in a little bit of a groove here. Something big, I feel like, is going to happen next couple plays in this drive. Something big is going to happen, whether it's a big run or maybe big pass over the top. They've lulled these guys into a little bit of a sleep. Passing game might come alive.
2nd and 7, up the gut. DeMonte Moore has it, and he gets upended out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Another nice pickup, another first down for Vacaville.
And DeMonte Moore having a great game. I think he's picked up 3 or 4 first downs single-handedly. He's got about, I want to estimate, around maybe 40, 50 yards so far tonight because he keeps picking up first downs, keeps picking up yards in chunks, and he's a great in-between from Mewborn to Donaldson. He's just one of those secret weapons in this Vaca High arsenal.
And I remember the Granite Bay game. He had a pretty good game. He was one of the few bright spots in that one. This time they give it to Moore again, and an excellent tackle there by 17 for Wilsey Wood. Adam Cunning, also the kicker.
Adam Adam Cunning coming up and saving a touchdown right there. DeMonte Moore really trying to get to the end zone. Don't be surprised if he doesn't right here. Or if he does right here. I'm sorry about that.
Second and about 3. Vacaville can pick up a first down inside the 10. Need to get to the 3-yard line.
I know it looked to me like number 45 from Wilsey Wood jumped a little bit early. Jordan Boyd, we might have an offsides.
And it looks like Coach Mraz got the TO out there before the penalty, so timeout call at the 1:45 mark. Wilsey Wood up 21-14 and due in large part to their shifty running back Damon Lewis, the 5'6", 165-pound sophomore, and I would argue he's not even 5'6", but he has 3 rushing touchdowns here tonight.
And he might be 165 soaking wet. He looks more like a $125, but he is responsible for all 21 points at this point. Like I said at the beginning of the game, he is a key player for this Wilsey Wood team.
And look at that head coach Carlos Mraz. This is his 5th year as the head man for Wilsey Wood, 22-18 overall record. And he has the best quote. My old man wrote it down right here. We don't think about past or future. Every game is the biggest game we have. And he can actually say that this week and mean it 100%.
Oh, definitely.
Because this is the one year I think Wilsey Wood actually believes that they have an actual chance to beat Vacaville, and they've proved it so far here, up 21-14. Vacaville driving, though, 2nd and 5 inside the 10.
I completely agree with you. And believing in yourself, huge part of this game. This game is extremely mental.
And you just look at the whole Jonathan Martin, Richie Cognito thing. I mean, that just shows you how mental it is. Vacaville takes it inside the 5. Nunez on the carry again, and I believe he has enough for the first down, so that'll make it 1st and goal.
1st and goal from about the 3. Vaca High should be able to put the ball in from here with how strong their run game is. Knocking on the door of the end zone. Give it to number 9, bang it up the gut. Or DeMonte Moore has been doing a great job up in the middle also.
Yeah, I mean, a handful of guys for Coach Pop here to pick and choose. Kane Cunningham's been another guy. Nunez has had a couple of nice runs on this drive also.
Starting to see a little bit of that running game by committee.
So they do give him the first down. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. 1.5 minutes left here, 2nd quarter. And they give it to Big 44, who takes it in. Connor Canellis, the big-time fullback / linebacker, getting dirty and ties things up. We're actually an extra point away from tying it up, 21-20.
And Connor Canellis having 2 very big plays, but short yardage situations that are huge plays for this team. Picking up a big first down in the middle of the field earlier in this game and picking up a huge touchdown to bring the game back to a knot.
And that drive shows you that this team is much more than the Mewborn Twins.
Definitely.
Kane Cunningham with an outstanding run. Damon Moore with a couple also. And the extra point is up.
We even saw a little Tanner Donaldson action on that one.
I mean, he's got to work on the little hesitation move, but outside of that.
Work on the limp leg, Tanner. Work on the limp leg.
So 21-21 after the extra point. $1:27 left here in the 2nd quarter. And 1st quarter, Wood, 14-0. 2nd quarter, 21-7 Vacaville. So it's been a tale of 2 quarters, and Vacaville's offense, turnovers really in the 1st quarter is what cost them chances at points. 2nd quarter.
If it wasn't for those turnovers, I feel like Vaca High would be up by 1 or 2 touchdowns at this point.
And here, important for Vacaville's defense. Plenty of time still for Wilsey Wood.
Oh, definitely.
127, especially when you got Tyler Bailey, who.
And the speed of Damon Lewis.
Exactly. And coming into today, Tyler Bailey needed 123 yards to break the school record for most passing yards in a season. I would say he's pretty close right now. He probably needs another about 35, 40, I'm guessing. But
and he's got a whole nother half of football.
Exactly. And Kenny Deering's held that 18-year school record for passing yards in a season. And, of course, Wood has a lot of talented wide receivers, led by Roderick Douglas, the junior. So a high kick angled towards the sideline and takes a tricky hop. Picked up by Wilsey Wood. And nowhere to go. That was Diego Garcia who picked it up and ran east and west and didn't even pick up a yard. And Vacaville came up with the ball, and I think
Is that going to be another fumble? Because if so, this Vacaville special teams units are the most
And it is
consistent part of
Vacaville
this
ball.
Vacaville team tonight.
So another
Vacaville
big
ball, that's
time
huge.
turnover.
2 fumbles in a row on special teams.
And we could be talking about that play later on as the biggest play of the game so far.
Very true. That gives Vaca High the ball right around the 5-yard line, tied up 21-21 with a minute 21 before half. Vaca High, huge opportunity to go up a touchdown into the halftime.
And we were looking at this one. Oh, can Vacaville stop Wood here? Now, next thing you know, Vacaville's got the ball inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Plenty of time. 2 timeouts left for Coach Papadopoulos. Might get offsides.
Looks like we got
Wood.
an offsides on Wilsey Wood, I think. I think that linebacker stepped into the neutral zone trying to come up and show that blitz.
Aaron Herbert got a little too aggressive.
And you can't do that right there. You can't cut whatever yardage is 1 yardage, 5 yards into half of what it was by giving them a stupid penalty.
So
you're handing them yardage.
After the penalty, it'll make it at the 5. First and goal at the 5 after the offsides penalty was half the distance to the goal from the 9.
Watch out for Connor Canales or Kane Cunningham to just bang it up in the middle again, pick up that hard-nosed touchdown.
And they give it to 44 again. He's close, and I think he's in.
Connor
Touchdown.
Canales.
You called it, partner. Second touchdown in a row for Big 4-4.
Second touchdown in about a matter of 30 seconds. The kid's got to be happy. Coming up huge in short yardage situations. 2 touchdowns, a big first down in the first quarter. This guy is making his presence felt for this Vaca High offense.
So just like that, I mean, Vacaville's 2 touchdowns have come in a span of about 35 seconds, both times around, due in part to the great special teams coverage by Vacaville special teams on the kickoff. Snaps low. They get the kick up still, and it's good. So 28-21, Vacaville has outscored Wilsey Wood 28-7 here in the second quarter.
And the last 2 touchdowns really being made possible by this Vacaville special teams. The kickoff team in particular coming up with 2 big fumbles right in a row.
So you look at that on the screen. Big Connor Canellis, 2 rushing TDs. The big bruiser kind of reminds me of Hudson Buck a little bit, a guy, a change of back
Hudson
type
Buck.
of running back. I think if you were a running back partner, that's exactly what you'd be like. The Golden Eyes cat that's going to get in and score some TDs.
I tried to convince Pop to let me play
he
running back
in
in our black and blue ball. He was not going to let me get the ball.
Even when you guys were up 120-3? Huh?
It was only 84-51.
Only 84. You guys gave up 51, man.
I was a starter. I was out after the first quarter.
Sure.
We had 3rd and 4th in. But that was a whole nother Wilsey
so
Wood
you're just
team.
throwing your cats under the bus? Is that what you're doing?
They played very well for 3rd and 4th strings. But completely different Wilsey Wood team. Much better than they were when I was playing here. Really, really going to give this Vaca High team some trouble the next couple years.
And now if you beat Wood, it's a nice win.
Oh, yeah.
Back then, it's like, okay, we can't lose this game. So a short kick. Filled it at the 30 and nowhere to go for 8-5 Arthur Jackson. So straight ones on the board. 1:11 left here in the second quarter.
And Luke Andercheck coming through and laying a hit on Jordan Boyd, who didn't even have the ball. Thought he had the ball. Hit him real hard. Laid
Sure,
a
he
hit
thought
on
he
that
had
one.
the ball. He was just going for somebody, man. He's knocking somebody's head off.
Hey, if you're not trying to
you gotta
hit
keep your head
someone
on the
hard,
swivel, right?
you gotta. It's football. This is a violent game. You've played for almost 18 years of life. You know now.
So $1:12 left, and Wood
Going into a water pick.
and nowhere to go for Bailey.
You know, I don't really know why they would do that in this situation. You know, Vaca
Late
High
flag.
has seen them do this and has prepared for this all week long. Guaranteed.
See what the penalty is here.
Vaca High is not one of those teams you're going to catch sleeping.
They're going to get a face mask on Vacaville.
Face mask on Vacaville. You can't give teams free yardage. Can't give them free yardage.
So I believe that was the 5-yard variety, which, of course, you don't see that anymore in the NFL or Division I college football. It's either 15 or nothing. So 1st and 10 still for Wood. Clock's running. Shotgun Bailey. Throws this one, and one hops it, intended for Roderick Douglas.
And, these guys are still young. They're still learning this game and mastering it. But in those situations, Vaca High's DNs need to recognize that the offensive line for Wood is in a 2-point stance. This is going to be a drop-back situation. Pin your ears back, get after the quarterback, and try to force a sack.
And that's been the one thing that Vacaville has not done so far, and that's get pressure on the QB.
And Tyler Bailey has largely been untouched all night long. Not even pressured, really.
So we're going to get a timeout, Vacaville. They have one TO left in the back pocket. So 55 seconds left here, second quarter. Once again, you're checking out Solano College Sports Network. Here with my broadcast partner, David Daub. I am Zach Poff. And so far, what's kind of caught your eye so far? Vacaville down 14-0 early, but now up 28-21.
What's caught my eye is how this Vaca High team has responded. I told you guys earlier that they need to have a short memory. They've done that. They've gotten those bad plays, those couple fumbles that they had. They've got that out of the head. They've thrown that away, and they're back to playing Vaca High football. On the Wilsey Wood side, Damon Lewis, always surprising. I mean, it shouldn't catch me by surprise that he's that fast, but every time I see him turn it on and just burn somebody, still surprises me every time. And, Tyler Bailey, another thing that's surprising, that Vaca High hasn't been able to get to him at all. He's back there looking confident with time and making pretty good throws so far tonight.
And, of course, right now it's 2nd and 9, and if Wood can get a first down, it stops the clock momentarily. And, of course, you don't want to even think about punting the ball back to Vacaville. You just want to get into halftime. 28-21, not bad as they run it to Lewis. Trying to bounce it outside, and he does. And he is close to the first down. He gets pushed out of bounds. Looks like he's going to be about a yard shy.
And one of the things that makes him such a special player is he has the speed to turn nothing into something. Even a play that looks like it's done from the get-go, done from the snap, he's able to find somewhere to go and has the speed to get there.
And that's one thing Coach Mraz has done. He's done an outstanding job of getting those talented guys to come play football for Wilsey Wood.
And the success is only going to make more and more kids want to go over there. So it is a good thing for Wilsey Wood.
It's actually 3rd and 1 right now. Bailey hands it off, and it's going to be close to the first down marker. I think he's a little short.
I don't think they're going to get it.
I believe that was Sendejas on the carry. And I believe he's short, so that'll bring up 4th down. Vacaville still has one timeout if they want to use it and force Wood to punt here. But, of course, if you're Coach Pop, you might want to just be happy to get into halftime up 28-21. And they do use their final timeout with 26 seconds left.
No, that's a smart move. I think it's a good idea for Pop to do that. Stop the clock, force them to punt. You got 20, at the end of the punt, you got about 23 seconds. Take one more shot, maybe even 2 shots at the end zone.
And also, too, anytime you force a high school team to punt the ball, we saw it earlier, the very first snap of the game for Bailey, a snap over his head. You can see something like that occur here in a punting situation. Or you also give a guy like Kane Cunningham a chance to take one back for a nice return, or you could even put one of the Mewborn twins out there, too.
I also feel like right now wouldn't be a bad time to go to the air. If you do, worst come to worst, throw an interception, that's going to be the last play of the half anyway, so it doesn't really hurt you in that case.
Yeah, it's kind of a win-win situation right here. At the end of the day, unless something crazy goes wrong, you're going to be up at worst 28-21.
I say you take a risk, go big, try to get one more in the end zone. If it goes bad, you got halftime.
And, of course, Vacaville right here, they could just bring the house here and try and block the punt, too.
That could always happen also.
It looks like
Chris Santapadre just might do that.
Right. It looks like Wood's going to rush up and go for it. This is gutsy right here, 4th and short. They also could be trying to draw Vac off sides.
They need to hold their water.
So 4th and short, 4th and a long one. And it looks like they're...
And they didn't, I don't think they went out with a play. I think they went out only trying to draw them off sides, and it's starting to backfire. Delay game.
So just trying to get them to jump off sides. They'll get a delay game. It looked like he might have called false start, but regardless, 5-yard penalty. It'll bring up 4th and 7.
And I'm a little bit mad none of our cameramen caught big defensive coordinator Mike Cassis doing a little bit of a happy dance right there.
I know. I wish I would have seen that, man. I missed it, too. Coach can move, man.
He's got some moves.
And just an outstanding coaching staff for Vacaville.
Very seasoned, extremely experienced.
So Bailey, regular shotgun, punts it
That was
away.
strange.
Little quick punt. It's going to roll inside the 20. And Wood shouldn't even touch it. Just let that clock keep winding down. And there's your boy. Look at your defensive coordinator getting happy there.
And, that's a good thing about Mike Cass is he's got so much energy. He's been with this team for about 8 years now. Started when his son came in. His son was in my class. He was our defensive coordinator all 4 years. Great guy. Knows what he's doing out there. He's run a very tight defense this year.
He kind of has that same type of energy that a guy you played at Solana with, Kevin Marks.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Marks,
Kevin
great
Marks,
coach.
man, he's just full of energy, a great coach, even better person.
Great coach.
And what's it like for a player having a coach that has that much energy?
It makes you want to play for him. When you see your coach out there just excited as you are, all it does is make you want to play for him. Give him 110% every time you're out there. It's a great feeling to have a coach like that.
So that's how the first half is going to end as Moore gets taken down in the backfield. Desmond McIver on the tackle, but Vacaville, a big-time second quarter, putting up 28 points on the scoreboard after trailing 14-0 in the first quarter. Well, so real quick before we go to our break, what was the biggest thing you took from the first half here?
Biggest thing that I took from the first half is that Vaca High is starting to have a good amount of success, largely without the Mewborn twins. That a lot of the successes come from guys like Kane Cunningham, DeMonte Moore, Connor Canellis, a lot of names that are different than Mewborn. So that has been the real surprising factor to me here in this second quarter more than this first half.
All right, partner. Well, we will be back for the second half. 28-21 score, Vacaville leading here at Tom Zanino Stadium.
Hi, everybody. Greg Poff here in the Solano College Sports Network studio, where we here at SCSN believe that life is more than just sports. Today, I'd like to tell you about a Solano College student by the name of Haley Green. And just before the start of this semester, Haley lost her mom both tragically and unexpectedly. And also, dealing with the sorrow of her mom's loss, which is hard enough for anyone to bear, she also was responsible for dealing with all of the costs associated with the funeral for her mom. As a result, Haley had to use her grant money that she had just received to help pay for her college education and use that money towards all of the funeral costs. Earlier today, I had a chance to speak with Haley. With the help of the Solano College Educational Foundation, a fund has been created on behalf of Haley. If you'd like to support this fund, you can do so and make donations to the SCC Educational Foundation. And if you make a check, earmark it to the Haley Green Support Fund. You can mail donations to the SCC Educational Foundation at 4000 Sassoon Valley Road, Fairfield, California, 94534. With our help, we can help provide Haley with all of the support she needs to achieve her future academic, career, and personal goals. This is a great opportunity to dig deep and help a fellow member of our college community who is in need. This is Greg Poff from the Solano College Sports Network studio, reminding all of us it's more than just about sports.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Happy holidays, everyone. Ashley Lyons here at the Solano Community College Broadcasting Studio. I'm here to tell you about a great cause coming up this holiday season called the Annual Holiday Giving Project. If you're looking to give back to the community, you can donate gifts to the Solano Community College Children's Program. If you're interested in giving a gift this season, go ahead and wrap your gifts and make sure that you put the gender and age on the outside of the present. Make sure all gifts are donated to Building 200 here at Solano by December 11th. For further questions and more information, you can contact Christy Speck at christy.speck@solano.edu. Thank you, and remember, it's better to give than to receive.
Oh, done.
And we pushed record, didn't we?
Oh, thank God.
Well, hi, everybody. Greg Poff here in the Solano College Sports Network Studio B to talk about a great opportunity for any of you that are aspiring sports broadcasters, or perhaps you just like to work behind the scenes when it comes to sports broadcast productions. Here at Solano Community College, we are one of the few colleges in the nation that have an actual sports broadcasting class, Communication Studies 75. You can take that class any semester here at Solano, and we'd sure like to see you here in the spring semester every Wednesday afternoon here in the Solano Community College TV studio. We've got a job for you. Could be behind the mic, could be running the CGs, running the switcher board, or even behind a camera. Lots of opportunities to get involved and learn what it takes to have a career in sports broadcasting. Also look for our telecasts on the Fairfield Cable Access channel and also on our Solano College YouTube channel. This fall semester we'll be covering women's soccer, women's volleyball. We'll also throw in a few Vacaville high school football games, and at the end of the semester we'll start bringing you broadcasts of both Solano men's and women's basketball. So if you're interested in sports broadcasting, come over to Solano Community College. Check us out in the TV studio. Again, Communication Studies 75, sports broadcasting. Now, back to the show.
We are moments away from the second half starting as the Vacaville Bulldogs pumped up here, partner. I know you're pretty pumped up here, a former Bulldog. And what do they need to do here the final 24 minutes to finish 5-0 in the mail for the 5th straight season?
They need to get David Mewborn involved a little bit more. He's been involved here and there, but hasn't had that big breakout play. He has scored one touchdown, but he hasn't been as effective as he has been in past games. Also, they need to keep getting a lot of guys involved like they did in the second quarter, where they put a lot of points on the board. Connor Canales, Kane Cunningham, DeMonte Moore. Keep those guys involved. Just try to get David's number called a couple more times.
And you get a look on the screen right there. Mewborn with 56 yards on 6 carries, 1 touchdown. But those 2 fumbles proved to be critical, especially the first one ended up being 7 points for Will
Those
C.
2
Wood.
fumbles were really big for him, but he responded well. He came back, still running hard, had a short memory, got right back in that game. And for Wood, they need to keep giving Damon Lewis the ball. 9 carries, 131 yards, 3 touchdowns. Right now, he is the best player on the field, bar none. Quick, elusive, fast. Keep giving him the ball. You got a chance of getting back in this game.
And Lewis now with 1,140 yards rushing on the season and 15 rushing touchdowns for the 5'6" sophomore. And Coach Moraz has to be ecstatic that this kid still has 2 more years after this season for Will C. Wood football.
So Damon Lewis, with that 131 yards, has overtaken David Newborn for the most rushing yards in the Mel right now. So let's see if David doesn't get his number called a couple more times in the second half, comes back and grabs that first place spot.
And also, too, I mean, he's only 1 rushing touchdown behind Mewborn. Mewborn now has 16 rushing touchdowns on the year after that touchdown in the second quarter. And Damon Lewis now with 15. And that 60-yard touchdown was huge for Will C. Wood because outside of that one big play, Vacaville dominated the second quarter of football.
They did. That second quarter was really their time to shine. I'm pretty sure all of their 28 points came in that second quarter. And that's when they really went to that running game by committee, mixing it up, giving Will C. Wood a lot of different looks at a lot of different guys.
And a win for Vacaville is huge because right now they're on the cusp of getting a home playoff game next Saturday or next Friday night. And right now, according to Max Preps, Vacaville would be the number 9 seed in Division II in the Sac Joaquin section, and Will C. Wood would be number 10. But a win for Vacaville has a chance to maybe get them that 8th spot. And right now, the projected playoffs have them playing Grant in the first round, an 8-9 matchup.
That is a huge game. If they get Grant first round, no doubt they want to be here in Tom Zunino Stadium. They always play a little bit better here. The crowd is always behind them, and these stands will be just as packed next week, first round of playoffs, as they are tonight.
And, of course, Grant used to be a powerhouse. They're still a very good high school football program, but they have fallen off a little bit. Folsom has become the kings of the Sac Joaquin section, due in large part to Jake Browning, who is just an absolute stud under center.
Folsom is an outstanding team. If you look back, though, a couple years ago, Vaca High beat Folsom section championship game, I believe, 2 years
in
ago.
2011.
Very close game.
And it was the second section championship for head coach Mike Papadopoulos, also won back in 2006.
And, I was playing here when Grant was kind of that powerhouse team in Sacramento.
Thompson.
Exactly. And I always wanted to play Grant. I would have been licking my chops to get Grant in the playoffs because there was always that debate, who is the best team in the Sacramento area? Is it Vacaville? Is it Grant? And we never found out because we never got a chance to play each other when we were both really at the peak of our games.
And that'd be huge for Vacaville to come out here in the second half and just do exactly what they did in the second quarter and show why they are the best team in the Solano-Vacaville area.
They're starting to at the end of that second quarter, they had something going. They started to find their identity in this game, who they were going to be in this game, and they need to go right back to that recipe. Keep their foot on the gas. Don't slow up at all right here. I know with an extended halftime, it gets a little bit easy to get cold and mentally fall out of the situation a little bit. They got to remind themselves, we got a whole nother second half of football here to play, and Will C. Wood is a very good team that can get right back in it.
And, partner, this is why I love Friday Night Lights. You got the band rocking out. You got the crowd into the game. Will C. Wood side, the home side here today. They've been going at it all game. Vacaville sideline, once the second quarter got started, gave their fans something to cheer for, and since then, this place has been rocking, baby.
There really is nothing like high school football. These kids play for the love of the game, trying to get to the next level.
Look at homeboy right here. He is getting into that little drum right there, little drum action.
And they always do this. Vaca High, all of Vaca High shows up for the Black and Blue Bowl. They have the marching bands out here. They have the drum line, the drill team, and the cheerleaders. The whole 9 yards for the Black and Blue Bowl.
The only thing we're missing is Nick Cannon, baby.
Right? Where's he at?
So Will C. Wood will get the rock first. They deferred after winning the coin toss before the kickoff. So big drive right here for Will C. Wood. They need to come out strong here in the second half and get Uncle Mo back on their sides.
And if I'm Vaca High, I'm looking at Damon Lewis back there ready to return the ball, knowing he wants to make something happen, make a statement here. no way am I going to kick him the ball right now.
And Coach Pop really has not been giving him a chance in the return game, been doing a lot of kind of squib kicks, a little short kickoffs. So we are set, 24 minutes, maybe more here today. 28-21 Vacaville. And they do a little short kick, angled towards the sideline, fielded at the 25. And a decent return up to the 35, so good starting field position for the Wilsey Wood Wildcats.
Great field position, starting from their 35. They got a good chance here to make something happen from their field position. Don't be surprised if right off the bat, number 13 gets his number called.
Yeah, and you know 13's going to be getting his number called a lot here. He had 9 carries for $131 in the first half, all 3 touchdowns. So shotgun for Bailey. Wildcats love to run a spread type of offense. They give this one to Lewis, trying to break it outside, and he does. Past midfield, and finally pushed out of bounds, and we're going to get a penalty late. So 21-yard run plus another 15-yard penalty. And Lewis went crashing into the benches and right into the Gatorade jugs.
Damon Lewis taking a hard spill right into the concrete. You never like to see that. It's a scary moment. But you know what? I don't think David was trying to do anything dirty. He was just trying to get him out of bounds. Both their momentum, they're so fast, both those guys. Their momentum's going to carry them for a little bit. You know, something like that happened in the All-Star game after my playing days here at Vacaville. Fairfield running back was on the All-Star team with me, got ran out of bounds up at Napa Stadium, ran his head right into the concrete wall, was out for the rest of the game, had to get carried off. It's a scary moment to see that.
And as you mentioned, partner, obviously Mewbourne not trying to do anything too bad there.
Yeah, and you saw the Vaca High is class personified. You saw the Vaca High kids grab him, pick him up, make sure he's okay. They don't want to see anybody get hurt. A lot of these guys are actually friends. You know, this town's not very big. A lot of them spend a lot of time together.
This time they give it up the gut to Sendejas, and he picks up about 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. And Sendejas, kind of a nice spell running back to take the place of Damon Lewis. He's had a couple of nice carries here tonight.
Where Damon's the speed guy, he is the the ground and pound type of dude. But great play by Connor Canales to come up and stop that play before it could turn into something. Wrapped his legs up, brought him down for a good stop.
So 2nd and 7, shotgun for Tyler Bailey. Lewis, the lone setback, gets it, trying to bounce it outside. And he gets enough for the first down, I believe, all the way to the 12-yard line.
And, you know, that's just a one-on-one battle between DN Chris Irving for Vacaville and Damon Lewis. And Chris is fast, but Damon is just that much faster. Every single time that situation happens, Damon is going to have the upper hand.
And
he's going to have the upper hand with most people in that situation.
Chris Irving, the senior, leading Vacaville with 65 tackles on the year. So Sendejas comes in and spells Lewis once again. Shotgun for Bailey. Sendejas gets it, and he is going to be hit immediately at the 10-yard line. Nice job by Daniel Agbigay there to wrap him up.
Great job by Daniel Agbigay, number 23 for the Vacaville Bulldogs. DeAndre Lewis to wrap him up before it can get going. Linebackers scraping very well. This Vaca High linebacking core has really good vision, can scrape across plays, get to gaps very well.
So 2nd and 9. Ball at the 11-yard line, shotgun for Bailey. Looking to pass, throws this one, he's got his man. And nice tackle. Excellent job by Drew Chitwood there to bring down
And Ryan Newell's one of those guys that is one of the leaders of this Wilsey Wood receiving core, getting his number called for the first time tonight, picks up a good gain of 4.
Newell's with 4 touchdowns on the year receiving, $166 on the season for the 6'2" senior. So big third down right here, 3rd and 6. They can still pick up a first down if they get it inside the 2.
I'm interested to see how this Vaca High defense steps up right here. If they make a good goal line stand, that's huge for them.
Throws this one up, and it's off the fingertips. Intended for Roderick Douglas. That'll bring up 4th down, and most likely see Wood go for it here.
Great coverage by Jonathan Burke, able to break up the play in the end zone to save the touchdown.
And field goal unit coming out for Wilsey Wood, trying to get points on the board on their opening possession here in the second half.
Always take the points.
And Adam Cunning has been perfect, 3 for 3 extra points so far, and this one just a little longer than an extra point. 23-yard field goal attempt, and that one is up. And it
right
is
into
good.
the camera.
28-24. So a nice opening drive for Wilsey Wood, but a good job. Vacaville's defense, when things got tight, got inside the 10. Vacaville's defense able to force them to just 3.
You know, I think the hidden message in that drive is that drive does something for this Vaca High defense's confidence. They know, okay, we're all right. We can play with these guys all night long if we have to and hold them from getting in the end zone. They can go with the long drive and make a goal line stand and hold them to only 3.
And this is going to be a big upcoming drive for Vacaville here. They can really set the tone if they have a nice drive right here. And I don't know, man. I think Carlos Moraz should get a little tricky here and do the surprise onside kick. You see it work a lot.
And right now it might catch them off guard. They're definitely not expecting that. If you have a kicker out there that is good enough to get that good hop on the ball, you have a chance of recovering it.
Kane Cunningham standing back at his own 5.
Let's see if they take the same route as Vacaville's kickoff team and just do one of those little high pooch kicks.
You called it, partner, a high pooch short. And this one is fielded at the 31-yard line. And 22 there, bumped into one of his guys, Jonathan Burke, but able to hold on to the rock, most importantly.
And DeLon Stevens is going to come up with his first tackle of the night on his teammate,
Right.
Jonathan Burke.
And 53 for Vacaville, Steven Gomez, a little late to get up, and telltale sign he's got a little cramp out there.
And that is potentially a big injury for this Vaca High offense. Stevie Gomez, their starting left tackle, who is watching Chad Hecking's blind side, has been in that starting spot all season. You would like to see him get up and be able to continue this game. He's a great player for them.
And that's been the secret to success for Vacaville over the years has been offensive line. I mean, their offensive line has been stellar year in and year out for Coach Papadopoulos.
The offensive line is coached so well. These guys have taught the same system, offensively at least, for years, for decades.
And these guys are, in Pop Warner, they're running this type of offense gearing
It's
up for
almost like a
Vacaville,
farm
right?
system here. You play Bulldogs in Pop Warner. They run a lot of the same plays. You've learned this Vaca High playbook if you're a Bulldog and you're going to go here for the majority of your football career at this point.
And it shows. I mean, 6 Mel titles for Coach Papadopoulos started here in 2005. Of course, he's been a part of the Vacaville coaching staff since 1992, but took over as a head coach in 2005. And Vacaville's done nothing but win since Coach Pop's been calling the shots here. A 79% winning percentage for Coach Papadopoulos. 2 Sac Joaquin section titles, 6 Mel titles.
You know, he's a great coach to play for. His players love to play for him. It shows just every day that he truly does care about his guys, that this is more his extended family than just a football team.
And good sign right there. Stevie Gomez pops up, and
Little gingerly, but under his own power, comes off the field.
you could tell things just getting a little tight there, a little cramping action for Stevie Gomez. Hopefully we'll be able to see him back out there pretty quick.
It looks like he's got a smile on his face, so hopefully it's not that serious. Hopefully it is just a cramp.
So 1st and 10 at their own 32. Hecking under center, the wing T. Give it to the fullback, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
And you know, this Vaca High offensive line is kind of having the same issue that the Wood offensive line had against Vintage, and that's they're not being able to consistently enough open big holes or big enough holes for their running backs to make something happen. They need to get some movement. They need to push this Wilsey Wood defensive line back a foot off the line of scrimmage so they can make some stuff happen in the run game.
2nd and 10. They give it up the gut. Kane Cunningham takes it for about 5 or 6 yards, so 3rd and manageable upcoming for Hecking in this Vacaville offense.
And we continue to see Kane Cunningham and Connor Canales get their number called consistently here, carried over from the first half into the second half. You got to wonder if there's something up with David right now.
Saw the 2 fumbles earlier. and only had 6 carries in the first half. Play action. Hecking's got a man. First down.
And that's going to be the other Mewborn, Daniel Mewborn, number 7, picking up a first down. Nice reception. Way to turn it up. Get that couple extra yards for the first down.
And Mewborn on the year, 3 grabs for 93 yards and 1 touchdown.
And, he's really good at that. He gets a lot of yak yards. He gets a lot of yard after catch. He's one of those guys that can catch the ball, pull it in, turn around, and run.
So 1st and 10, 46. Pressure in the backfield, and Hecking is brought down as Adam Cunning gets in the backfield for the sack, and also 15 there to help him out a little bit. Aaron Herbert.
Adam Cunning making a big play here for this Wilsey Wood Wildcat defense.
And coming into this one, Wilsey Wood had 35 sacks on the season. And that's been the secret of success for Wilsey Wood this year. Has been stellar defensive play. They force a lot of turnovers. They get pressure on the quarterback. And if you do those 2 things defensively, makes things a lot easier for Coach Carlos Moraz. Hecking rolling out, pressure again, throws it off his back foot, and this one is nearly intercepted as Ade Gills had that one go in and out of his hands, and one of the main reasons he's probably playing DB and not wide receiver more often.
Well, you know what they say about cornerbacks. They're really just wide receivers that can't catch. Ade Gills able to break up a play that could have resulted in a huge interception. Vacaville able to dodge a bullet on that one.
So 3rd and 25 for Vacaville, and of course Vacaville not the type of offense that want 3rd and long situations, more of a running team. Hecking sets up the screen. This one's up for grabs, intercepted at the 30-yard line and still on his feet. Jordan Boyd with the INT, and a huge play for Wilsey Wood defensively. Not sure what Chad Hecking is doing right there. Just threw that one up for grabs into traffic.
Not a very good decision. He is a young guy, only a junior, but you have to make a better decision in that situation. You never want to put the ball up for grabs with the entire linebacking core within 3 yards of it. You're just asking to be picked off that way.
So now a league-leading 16th interception for the Wilsey Wood defense.
And, these guys have 3 turnovers. Statistically, if you have 3 turnovers, you usually win the game. So let's see if that doesn't end up playing a huge factor here at the end.
Finally, they eat up Lewis in the backfield, and that was David Mewborn on the tackle.
Make his impact felt on offense and defense. And, David was the one that was being targeted on that almost pick by Chad Hecking. And really, if Chad didn't have such pressure in his face and forced to throw off his back foot, that could have easily been a connection for 6 points.
Yeah, anytime you get David Mewborn in space, he has a chance to take it for 6. So 2nd and 15. Shotgun for Tyler Bailey. Damon Lewis in the backfield. Play action. He's throwing this one up. Roderick Douglas. Just a little overthrown, incomplete. Nice coverage on the play. Double 2, Jonathan Burke.
Great coverage by Jonathan Burke. If he would have turned his head a little bit quicker, that could have very easily ended up being an interception. It was right on his right side. Perfect opportunity to come up big. Huge pick right there.
So now 3rd and 15, and don't got to get all 15 yards right here for Wilsey Wood. Just try and pick up maybe 7 or 8 and maybe get a little closer for field goal range, or obviously get it to a 4th and manageable situation. And, of course, a lot of talented wide receivers for Wilsey Wood. Roderick Douglas with 400 yards receiving on the year. Sophomore Arthur Jackson with 361. Play action. They set up the screen. Lewis has it. Open field. Makes one guy miss past the 30. And he is down the sideline, and he's going to be close to the first down, and I think he's going to be about 3 yards shy.
And that play was really sprung by a great block by number 74 from Wilsey Wood, Andrew Glavin, the 6'1", 230-pound senior, making a huge block to spring Damon Lewis right there. You know what? This Vacaville defensive line needs to feel that screen better. When there's nobody in front of you and you just get a free go at the quarterback, immediately at this point in your playing career, you should be thinking screen.
And that was just not a good job of containing the outside for Vacaville. Gave Lewis a chance to spring it outside and make this a 4th and manageable. 4th and 3. They need to get to the 12 to pick up the first down. So shotgun, kind of a bunch line right there, and I think we're going to get a timeout for Wilsey Wood.
Good idea. Get a designed play in there, something that you have the best chance for success on.
So easily the biggest play of the game, and you mentioned, partner, important here to know exactly what you're doing. Heads up timeout for Coach Mraz and Wilsey Wood.
You know, we've had a lot of situations like this where we've been saying this could be the play of the game, but in a close situation like this, really any play of the game could be the play of the game. Huge fourth down though for this Vaca High team. Huge stop if they can make it. Give the ball back to their offense. See what they can't do with it.
And of course, this has been a closely tied contest so far, and that's rare in the Black and Blue Bowl. I mean, you have to go back to 2008 to look at a 28-27 type of game. Outside of that, Vacaville has dominated the series, and all the games have been blowouts.
And you know, Hecking has been hailed by Pop as being a very good game manager, managing the game very well. To prove that, he needs to make a couple better decisions here in the second half.
And if you're Coach Mraz here, you got to find a way to get the ball into 1-3's hands, right?
Definitely.
So 4th and 3. Slant, Douglas, off his fingertips, incomplete, and they had a chance to pick up the first right there. The pass a little high, but usually a play you'll see Roderick Douglas make.
And Jonathan Burke coming up again, huge. He's been on his receivers all night long, like white on rice. He's been making plays all over the field.
And, of course, it's a pretty chilly night, a lot harder to catch those high bullet type of passes. So 6:20 left here, 28-24. Vacaville takes over at their own 20. Wilsey Wood's defense did a good job last time out. Got pressure in the backfield, and they do it again. Aaron Herbert, the linebacker there, a loss of about 3 yards on the carry.
That right there, that explosive speed, how he hits the hole so quick is exactly why he's one of the leaders on this defense, has so many tackles on the season.
104 coming into tonight, averaging 13 tackles a game.
And you know what? Aaron Herbert is actually leading the MEL with those 104 tackles.
And they give it outside. And David Mewborn close to the first down.
If he didn't pick it up, it'll only be about 2 feet away. David Mewborn showing you some of his wheels. See if they don't get him a little bit more involved on this drive.
So it looks like it's going to be about, as you mentioned, partner, 3rd and about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. This time, the other Mewborn gets it, breaks a tackle. He's past midfield, one guy to beat, and he is finally taken down. The ball comes out, and it looks like Vacaville able to jump on it, but hard to tell from our viewpoint.
I think Vaca High was able to get there. I'm not sure who slid in, but he looked like he was able to secure the ball. Sometimes you got to stop fighting for those yards. Make sure you secure the rock and just go down.
And it is Wilsey
Wood's
ball. 4th turnover on the night for Vacaville, and every turnover has been huge as Daniel Mewborn this time loses it.
And, you know, I don't know what's going on with the Mewborn twins. We saw them have such a dominant performance against Napa a couple weeks ago, and tonight they seem to be coughing up the ball and not necessarily hitting that sweet spot that they have been all season.
And what a job by Adae Gills to chase down Mewborn and not only to bring him down, but have the presence of mind to go in and strip the rock. And a big-time turnover as Vacaville got a big gain on 3rd and short, and now they take over at their own 28.
Huge play, and there's a lot of game to play still here with 5:36 left in the 3rd. I got to think you go straight back to 1-3 again.
You got to keep feeding the 5'6" beast. And they give it to Lewis up the gut, and he picks up about 4 on the carry. And Lewis well over the century mark for the 6th time this season.
And, you know, I say it a lot, but I'm a huge believer in momentum. And those huge plays like that, those, you know, they call them splash threes in the NBA, those splash plays that are just huge plays, have such an impact on a team.
And, of course, you're taking points away from Vacaville. They're driving into Wilsey Wood territory. Now Wood has the chance, and as you mentioned, partner, they got Uncle Mo back on their side. Lewis cut back, and nice tackle as he gets to about the 35. It'll bring up third and a long 2.
And you know, these are those type of situations we were talking about earlier that Vaca High wants to avoid. These thirds and shorts, they need to do, again, a better job winning first and second down, forcing Wood to be in a situation where it's 3rd and 10, and it takes their balance away then. It makes them one-dimensional.
And we'll see Wood, probably the most well-balanced team in the Monticello Empire League, averaging 183 yards on the ground and 181 yards through the air this season. 3rd and 2. Bailey throws it, and this one is incomplete. Maybe a little contact earlier, but an outstanding job by
DeLon Stevens. Great timing to get to the ball and make the play. I talked to Coach Pop a little bit earlier. He talked about how DeLon Stevens is going to be one of these guys returning to have another quarterback competition with Chad Hecking next year, but that he's also one of the best DBs in the state of California.
And showed it right there. Excellent job to get in the way of 85, Arthur Jackson. And this is a tricky situation right here. I mean, Bailey is their punter, also their quarterback. 4th and 2. This could be the time you see maybe a fake punt right here.
If you were going to see some trickery, I would imagine it would be right here, but I still think it's too early in the game. I think you punt it away.
Especially the way your defense is forcing turnovers. And the rugby-style kick bounces high up at the 32 and rolls back. And Vacaville will start this one at their own 30-yard line.
So let's see how this Vaca High offense responds after coughing up the ball last drive. They were doing a great job driving the ball. Had a big play from Daniel Mewborn. Ball pops out. Bad things happen. It's all about how you respond, though. Short memory has been a theme so far tonight. They need to kick that play out of their head, go right back out there, play the type of football they're used to playing.
And David and Daniel Mewborn responsible for 3 of the 4 turnovers. And what I've seen so far here tonight is a lot of people thought the Mewborns was the Vacaville team, but they've proven they've got a lot of other talented guys on this team as the first down carry goes for maybe a yard.
And you're exactly right. We've seen more of guys like Connor Canales, Kane Cunningham, DeMonte Moore being the guys tonight, way much more than both Mewborn twins.
And that was totally different against Napa. As you mentioned, they had all touchdowns against Napa. And you mentioned, partner, they even got a little piece in Sports Illustrated.
They did get a little piece in Sports Illustrated. Some good publicity.
So a nice 4-yard pickup there to bring up 3rd and 5.
And I want to say that was DeMonte Moore again. As long as he keeps picking up these 5-6 yard chunks of yardage, keep giving him the ball. It's effective. He's getting you good yards, and he's putting you in positions to have short 3rd downs, which is what you need if you're Vaca High.
3rd and 4. Hecking, play action, pressure. This is a fumble. It goes backwards. The ball is loose. And it looks like Will.C. Wood might have jumped on that one. Adam Cunningham once again making his presence felt as he jumps on the loose ball after Hecky tried to throw that one away and had it slip out of his hands, and another turnover number 5 for Vacaville.
And see, these are the choices, the bad decisions I'm talking about for the young Chad Hecking. When you're in these situations, sometimes the sack is better to just take it. You keep the ball. Yes, you may have lost 10, 12 yards, but you still have the ball. And right now, with turnovers being such an issue for this Vaca High team, take the sack, go down, live to fight another day.
And that's been the secret of success for Will.C. Wood. Turnover margin has been huge for this team this year, and right now they're dominating the turnover margin with 5 forced turnovers so far.
And we see number 32, Derek Diaz, usually on the D-line, come in. I got to think they're going to put him at fullback and try to bang something in there.
They give it up the middle. Julius Sendejas inside the 10, right around the 9-yard line.
Their short yardage back,
got a
who's
late
done
flag.
very good in short yard situations tonight.
So have to wait and see what the penalty is. A late flag thrown.
Couldn't see what was going on in the scrum of players down there, but maybe someone got a little too excited.
Still waiting on the official. I'm starting to think that he's pointing back towards Will.C. Wood now. So Chad Hecking has been sacked twice with 1 interception and also that big fumble we just saw right there. And this one getting moved backwards as the penalty's on Will.C. Wood. A Personal foul will move it back 15 yards. So a boneheaded mistake for Will C. Wood right there. Instead of having it second down inside the 10, now it's second and long at the 25.
And these are those little mistakes Coach Mraz was talking about cutting out. These are those mistakes that came back to bite them against Vintage. So they need to cut those out, stop shooting themselves in the foot, and they should keep having a successful tonight.
And to make things worse, it was after the play, so the down counts, so it's still second down. And they need to get all the way to the 1 yard line, so second and 24.
And I see big Jeremy Sweeney and Chris Irving at the defensive ends right now. I know these guys have got to be chomping at the bit to get a piece of Tyler Bailey.
And, of course, Sweeney, known for being a great wrestler, 53-1 record as a junior last year, also won the CIF state title. And if he does it again this year, he'd be the only Vacaville wrestler with 2 CIF state titles. And Vacaville is known for having a great wrestling high school program.
Extremely historied when it comes to wrestling. State champions all over the place in that room.
One-on-one, he's giving his receiver a chance, and he goes up and can't come up with the grab. I believe that was Roderick Douglas.
We have another flag coming after the play. I got to think Wood is getting a little chippy down there.
This is not the time to get a little chippy here.
You keep moving yourself farther and farther back, giving up free yards. But you know what? I want to point out number 22, Jonathan Burke. He has been the epitome of a shutdown corner tonight. Nothing that has gone his way has been completed. He's having a great game.
Tyler Bailey came out strong, completing a few passes. But since the first quarter, Vacaville's defense has done an outstanding job shutting down the offensive pass in the game. And I believe they called offensive PI on Will C. Wood. So now the ball all the way back to the 40-yard line. Your rare second and 39 coming up.
And, they're taking this very balanced offense and making them one-dimensional by destroying their passing game.
So second and 39, need to get to the 1 for a first down. The ball is at the 40. Shotgun for Bailey, 4 wide receiver set. Throws this one quick, and behind his intended target, Roderick Douglas.
Just a little bit behind Roderick Douglas, another one of those wide receivers who's having a great season and leading this very capable wide receiving core.
So third and 39, need to get all the way to the 1 for a first down. And just a boneheaded personal foul followed by an offensive PI.
If you keep giving back yards, that is not a very good plan on how to win a football game.
Especially forced the turnover, recovered at the 11-yard line. So after Vacaville shot themselves in the foot with the turnover, Will C. Wood returning the favor. Bailey rolling out, throws this one up, one-on-one coverage. He's got a chance, and Douglas cannot come up with the reception to hit him right in the numbers. 23 on the coverage, DeAndre Lewis.
DeAndre Lewis doing his best impersonation of Jonathan Burke and breaking up the potential scoring play.
So it went from 1st and 10 at the Vacaville 11 to 4th and 39 at their Vacaville 40-yard line, and punting situation for Tyler Bailey and Will C. Wood. So a couple of huge penalties on Will C. Wood. Takes him out of a scoring situation. Bailey tries to angle this one to the sidelines. Not a good kick at all. It's going to be about a 17, 18-yard punt.
Out right about the 20-yard line.
So really, Vacaville's defense did a good job. That was just more Will C. Wood. The personal foul was a huge penalty, and then the offensive pass interference. Important for Vacaville right here to not force any more mistakes.
The thing that has been shutting down the Vacaville offense the most is the Vacaville offense and giving the ball back to Will C. Wood so many times in this game so far.
5 turnovers for Vacaville, but yet they still have a 4-point lead, 28-24. Hecking under center. Nice run, close to the first down. It's big number 30, Demetrius Nunez, picks up 11.
And it's good to see all these guys getting their numbers called. They're showing exactly what you said earlier. That Vaca High is much more than just the Milborn Twins. So many guys getting so many chances to come up big for their team tonight.
And that's been the opposite for Will C. Wood. Nobody outside of Damon Lewis has stepped up to help out 1-3. Hecking gives this one, and he's got a chance. And Moore is going to take this one in for 6. Actually, that is DeMontre Moore there on the big-time carry for the TD run.
DeMonte Moore, another one of those young guys, only a junior, and another guy whose last name is not Mewborn, coming up big for this team.
66-yard touchdown run for the junior DeMonte Moore.
And the way he just portrayed his speed made me think it was David Mewborn, actually, with the ball.
That's why I got a little confused also, partner.
Good blocking up front, just enough of a push to give DeMonte Moore just a little bit of daylight to work with, and that's all he needs.
Extra point is up and good just like that. It's 35-24 Vacaville. And since it was 14-0, Vacaville has come back and outscored Wood 35-10 from the second quarter on. And our first touchdown scored here in the second half.
And, you know, right now you kind of start to feel maybe like this game is starting to get away from Will C. Wood a little bit. But you got to remember, Damon Lewis makes them able to score within one play. So
and we saw that in the second quarter. Took that 60-yarder to the house on the very first play of the drive.
So by no means is Will C. Wood out of this. And Vaca High needs to remember that they are one play away from being right back in this game.
And that's been the biggest difference in this game. Vacaville's role players are stepping up big time, and Will C. Wood, they have not had anybody else really step up offensively outside of Damon Lewis.
Well, I got to believe that's the reason that these 5 turnovers isn't playing as much as a part and showing up on the scoreboard, because all they've gone to for Will C. Wood is Damon Lewis. If you focus on Damon Lewis and take that away, you take away Will C. Wood's offense, at least so far, with a continued good job in defending the pass. So Vaca High defense doing everything they need to.
Yeah, Vacaville's defense has been huge in this game, especially Wood. In the first quarter, really got things on track fast, but since then they've limited Wood to only 10 points. And of course, if Vacaville does hold on, they would go 5-0 in the Mel, and it would be their 26th straight Monticello Empire League win. And of course, that is a Mel record.
I believe Coach Pop only has 3 losses in the MEL in his tenure at Vaca High.
And all 3 to the same team. Napa High.
Napa High. They got us my senior year. Gave us
and they ended up winning the section title that year, right?
Yes, they did.
With John Boyette.
Yes, they did. John Boyette and Jimmy Croxdale, both great players. One went to Oregon, one went to Sac State.
So once again, there's no way Vacaville is going to kick this one all the way to Lewis. And this kick goes out of bounds. So another mistake for Vacaville, and really the first mistake they've made on special teams. Special teams has been huge for Vacaville in this one.
Special teams has been playing great for Vaca High tonight, forcing two turnovers that were both turned into points. So really, this special teams coming up huge in the clutch for this Vaca High team tonight.
And I could be wrong, partner, but even though Vacaville's turned the ball over 5 times, Vacaville has scored more points off of turnovers than Will C. Wood has. I believe they only turned 1 of those 5 into 7.
They have. They've taken advantage of the opportunities that they've been given very well. And Will C. Wood has continued to shoot themselves in the foot a lot when they get the ball back in these turnover situations and give the ball right back to Vaca High.
So now 1st and 10 at the 35 after the kickoff went out of bounds. Lewis has it, cuts in, has a seam. Past the 45 and an outstanding tackle. The ball comes out, but Karem's out of bounds. Outstanding job by Drew Chitwood to chase down Lewis. Looked like he might break that one once again.
And Damon Lewis showing his elusiveness and his size really helps him out in these situations. Guys are just diving past him, over him, beside him, because he's so small and so quick and shifty that he can just make you miss in the open field.
So that's 21 yards on the pickup, and Lewis has to be close to 200 yards if he hasn't surpassed it already. It would be a second career 200-yard game this season.
And if the game keeps going how it is, Damon Lewis will walk away as the MEL leading rusher.
Lewis again, bounces outside, cuts in, picks up 5 hard-earned yards. .192, let's call it 197 after that run, so 3 yards away from 200.
So he will definitely pass David Mewborn as the leading rusher in the MEL with practically 200 yards on the night compared to David's 60 or so.
Lewis again, this time nowhere to go.
Great play by this defensive line. Great play by this defensive line to control their offensive linemen, not allow them to get up to the next level and get hands on these linebackers.
And you get a shot at big 4-4, Connor Canellis there, and a little shaken up. Looks like his neck might have got hit a little hard right there. And hopefully he'll be able to return. He's had a big-time game, 2 rushing touchdowns. He's making plays defensively.
Tough kid, having his impact felt on both sides of the ball.
Big 3rd down, 3rd and 5, shotgun for Bailey. Throws this one up. Douglas can't come up with it. Once again, great coverage on the play, and that was 2-3. DeAndre Lewis once again. And they've just done an outstanding job really shutting down Will C. Wood's passing game.
And largely because of their DBs. Their DBs showing up huge tonight and playing probably the best game I've seen their DBs play all season long. Jonathan Burke having a great game, really being a shutdown corner for them tonight.
Well, you remember the game that you did when Ellison just tore him apart. A totally different story here today. Big 4th down for Will C. Wood. Bailey rolling out to his right. Plenty of time. Throws this one up, and this one falls. It's going to be an interception for Vacaville there, and 2-4 on the INT.
That's Kane Cunningham coming up big. These guys are really showing that this team is so much more than the Mewborns. These guys making plays all over the field. Kane Cunningham, Connor Canellis on offense and defense making huge plays. Huge interception for Vaca High right there.
So now they'll take over at their own 25-yard line, and really the story of the game has been Vacaville's defense so far.
This is where the old saying that Pop always uses, you got your foot on their throat, do not let up. I guarantee you he's yelling that to his kids right now.
They give this one up the gut. A lot of room to run for Moore once again.
DeMonte Moore being the most productive back on this Vaca High offense tonight. Having a great game, the junior. I can't wait to see what he does next year.
Another 25-yard pickup for Moore. You got to guess he's well over the century mark. And coming into today, he had 420 yards on the ground, averaging nearly 10 yards a pop with 5 TDs. They give it up the gut, nowhere to go. It's going to be a loss of 1 on the play, as that was Kane Cunningham.
And, you know, I got to think with the Mewborns both being seniors, both moving on after this season, that DeMonte Moore is going to end up really being the guy for this Vaca High offense next year.
It kind of reminds me when they had Curtis Goins and they had Forte and Melvin Mason.
Yeah.
And they kind of just handed it off to Goins. And, of course, he knows a lot about this rivalry. In his last game as a senior, he ran for $195. So you see the 4 fingers up. It is time for the 4th quarter, and Vacaville has really dominated this game since the first 12 minutes. And, of course, if Vacaville holds on, they'll finish 5-0 for the 5th straight year, and it'll be the 7th MEL title for Vacaville.
And, you know, since the beginning of the second quarter, it's really been all Vacaville tonight, doing a great job so far.
So we're going to take a quick commercial. We'll be right back. Good.
Happy holidays, everyone. Ashley Lyons here at the Solana Community College Broadcasting Studio. I'm here to tell you about a great cause coming up this holiday season called the Annual Holiday Giving Project. If you're looking to give back to the community, you can donate gifts to the Solana Community College Children's Program. If you're interested in giving a gift this season, go ahead and wrap your gifts and make sure that you put the gender and age on the outside of the present. Make sure all gifts are donated to Building 200 here at Solano by December 11th. For further questions and more information, you can contact Christy Speck at christy.speck@solano.edu. Thank you, and remember, it's better to give than to receive.
All right, partner. Got a new partner here on the first play, and another loss for Vacaville. And Greg Poff here joining me here on the set. And what has impressed you the most from the Vacaville Bulldogs? Down 14-0 early, but it's been a totally different game since the second quarter.
This game very similar to the game we saw 2 weeks ago here at Tom Zunino Stadium when Napa went up on top by 2 touchdowns. Very competitive first half, but in the second half you see Vacaville, just like they're doing tonight, they start wearing you down with that vaunted rushing attack, and they're going to keep coming.
3rd and 11. Hecking looking to pass, throws off his back foot. He's got a man open, and this one is caught by David Mewborn. Might not be doing it on the ground, but makes a big-time catch for a big first down for Vacaville, all the way at the 27-yard line.
And really, you look at that pass play right there. That's a play you'd think Tyler Bailey would be making, and he's made some throws tonight. His receivers have not helped him out. They have dropped some big-time passes.
And then you look at Vacaville on the other hand, they've had plenty of guys step up. I mean, this hasn't been the type of game either of the Mewborn twins you see having, but Kane Cunningham and Moore have been outstanding. Cunningham on the carry, gets down to about the 20, but there is a flag, and usually when you see the flag thrown by that judge, it means one thing, offensive holding.
And I think Kane Cunningham maybe tweaked. No, he looks okay now. He was getting up a little gimpy. He's another one of those guys that's come in and had some nice runs. He's got a touchdown on the game. And DeMonte Moore, he's over 100 yards.
He's had a big-time game. And, I mean, Vacaville, even though they're going to lose both the Mewborn twins, DeMonte Moore is a guy that can come in and fill that void very quickly. We've seen it tonight.
Well, you look at this rivalry, Zach, and then you look at the roster, a lot of underclassmen on both sides of the ball. So you like what you're seeing tonight, and I think with Carlos Meraz at the helm, you're going to see this rivalry a lot more even in the years to come.
So after the holding call, first and long, Desmond McIver got a little too excited there. You heard Coach say, hey, we're going to blitz you right here on the edge. And
well, he's been doing work in the blitz packages earlier, especially in the first half. He was really putting some pressure on Hecking. And boy, the one thing, you just kind of look at the two programs, the two systems, and you just see that Vacaville has that winning tradition. They've been here before. They know how to respond. Wood players still trying to figure that out.
They give this one. It's Moore once again, and he gets all the way to the 20. He's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down. That'll bring up second and a short 3.
And what really impresses me about DeMonte Moore is his vision. We saw it on that play. He's got that big O-line in front of him. He's patient, waits for his hole, one cut.
And this time, I believe they give it to big 3-0, Demetrius Nunez.
Nunez, another guy that's going to come in there for Vacaville.
I believe he has enough for the first down there.
And
First
Nunez,
down,
a senior, but as we said, DeMonte Jr., Kane Cunningham, Connor Canellis, all juniors. So they're okay in the backfield every year.
And part of you're talking about Wilsey Wood, how they have a bright future. And their JV team went undefeated this season, so they've got a lot of other freshmen and sophomore going to come in and fill the voids for some of these seniors. Hecking throwing this one. He's got his man caught. Did he cross the pylon? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Vacaville. His number one target, Tanner Donaldson, with the TD reception. That could be icing on the cake for the Bulldogs here.
And how fitting for Tanner Donaldson to make that catch. He's been the gutty little wide receiver for Vacaville all year, and when you need a big play, Hecking is usually looking for little number 15, and he's going to come through. Boy, that was an outstanding catch. Fully extended, both hands on the ball, pulled it in, and just a little shaken up as he fell to this hard turf at Tom Zunino Stadium.
He's cramping up over there. I mean, his 4th touchdown on the year is going to help those cramps feel a little better. And, hey, Danny Woodhead, that's how you get the ball over the pylon.
Well, this game isn't over quite yet, but, boy, Wood has got to do some work and in a hurry.
Kick is up, and it is good. 42-24 Vacaville, and they have really dominated here after the 14-0 first quarter. They've come back strong and really took control of this one. And you kind of got the sense, even though Wood got up 14-0, long way to go. And Vacaville, an impressive win here, might get them a home playoff game in the Sac Joaquin Division II playoffs next Friday night. And Max Preps has their projected playoffs already out. Right now they would have Vacaville as the 9 seed, have to go up to Grant and play them at number 8.
Boy, the last time Wood got into the playoffs, they had to go play Grant.
And looking at Wood right now, they're projected as the 10 seed, and they're going to definitely be on the road. And after, if they lose tonight, they might even make it 11 or 12. But they've already locked up a playoff berth, 7 wins on the season for Will C. Wood.
Well, Wood, we saw what happened. I think they lost to Grant like 66-0. I think the other team from Vacaville might have a little better chance against one of the top programs in Northern California. And, Zach, you work at Max Preps there in Sacramento. You probably hear about Grant all the time, although not quite as strong as they've been in the last as they were about 3-4 years ago.
The team this year is Folsom with Jake Browning at quarterback. This kid's a gunslinger. So another high, short kick. Fielded at the 30-yard line. Herbert trying to get outside, and he is pushed out at the 37.
Boy, Aaron Herbert, he's going to be a guy that Carlos Meraz is going to be sad to see leave. Because this kid, I mean, he does it on both sides of the ball. He's thrown for a touchdown, run for a touchdown, and he's caught a pass for a touchdown, and an outstanding outside linebacker on the defensive side of the ball.
Number 1 in the Monticello Empire League with his 104 tackles coming into tonight.
Well, I don't know if this will go down to the wire like the last time we did that game in 2008, but pretty good game.
10:06 left. Wood down by 18. Damon Lewis has it, trying to bounce it outside. And he can't get it outside. Outstanding tackle made. I believe that was Drew Chitwood. Actually, that might have been Michael Walker.
And Damon Lewis right around 200 yards, I think 198 on that carry, but probably lost a yard or two, so still trying to get 200 yards. But how impressive is that sophomore running back against this Vacaville defense?
I was telling Todd, I mean, this guy reminds me of Darren Sproles, a shifty running back, 5'5" on a good day. 2nd and 11. Bailey throws off his back foot. This one complete at the 45. It'll bring up 3rd and 3.
That's probably McIver over there. No, that's Keegan making the catch. And, boy, he's the one guy that's made some catches for the Wildcats today, number 22, Tristan Keegan.
Yeah, we have not called Arthur Jackson and Roderick Douglas's names too much here, and if we have called it, it's usually because of a drop pass.
And Roderick Douglas had a chance to make a couple plays on some long passes and just couldn't come up with the reception.
He had his chance on that 3rd and 39 play, had one-on-one coverage, and could not go up and come down with the reception. And you got to tip your cap to these Vacaville DBs. They've been doing an outstanding job so far. It's 3rd down. Herbert looking to throw, brings it back the other way, gets a block from his quarterback, and tackled, almost, breaks another tackle and gets all the way back to the line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line. So he ran about 40 yards for no gain.
Boy, Bailey, the quarterback, on that block, Zach, he was trying to get after it. I think he tried to take out Jeremy Sweeney. Not a good decision by the senior quarterback, and he's still down. He had a blind side on Sweeney, tried to crack back on him, and just got pummeled. So Bailey down, the senior quarterback. And, you know, I had a chance. I was talking to a couple of the Wood baseball players that now have graduated playing at Solano. Tyler Bailey, pretty good baseball player as well. Hit
outfielder,
about 3.
Right?
Yeah. Outfielder, right.
Yeah.
And hit about 336 last year, I believe. Also pitched just a little bit.
And Coach K, Cody Caroher, helping out football for Will C. Wood. And, you know, baseball's his first love.
And, you know, I had a chance to talk to Cody a couple weeks ago. In fact, he was here when we were doing the Napa game. He was talking about the JVs and all the talented underclassmen. Really excited about the upcoming years at Will C. Wood.
So 4th and 3. And Aaron Herbert, the backup quarterback, taking the place of Tyler Bailey. They're going to get an offsides on Vacaville, so a free 1st down for Will C. Wood on 4th and 3.
And
I mean, really, Vacaville is lucky they're up 42-24. I mean, penalties, turnovers have been huge, but yet Vacaville still holds an 18-point lead, due in large part to the role players that have stepped up here in absence of the Mewborn twins, who haven't had that stellar type of game they're used to having. So a free first down at midfield. Aaron Herbert, the new quarterback. Actually, Bailey's back in, and his first play, he is going to get taken down for the sack, and Sweeney and Bailey meet again.
And I think that's going to be a flag on Sweeney, getting a little bit too excited there.
Come on, Sweeney, you're going to Cornell, man.
And you're picking on a quarterback. You're the state champion in wrestling. If you're going to go after someone, pick one of the linemen. Although Bailey tried to crack back on him, and we saw what happened.
So personal foul on Jeremy Sweeney. And, of course, Sweeney, the reigning 197-pound CIF state champion from last year. And during his wrestling career, he's 119-24. And last year alone, he went 51-1. Only one loss in 52 matches for Jeremy Sweeney. And I watched a little bit of highlights from his wrestling days last year. I would not want to wrestle this guy.
You know, that might be something we'll have to do, expand Solano College Sports Network, do a little Vacaville wrestling.
And, of course, Sweeney is going to Cornell, a full-ride scholarship. It came down to Virginia, Michigan, and Cornell. He said he always wanted to play for Cornell or wrestle for Cornell, so that's where he's headed next year. So the refs having a little discussion.
I'm not quite sure what they're talking about. I mean, their
dinner plans are getting messed up.
Yeah.
It's getting close to 10:30 now. A lot of places will be closing at 11, so they're trying to find a way to get out of here before 11.
Well, they marked off the 15 yards. They set the ball down. And Wood, they're just itching to get going here. They want to get on the board, see if they can get back in this one, and they need someone to step up, make a big play right now.
Because there's still a lot of time left. 7:48.
And the way Vacaville has turned the ball over tonight, 5 turnovers for Vacaville, 4 for Wood, but still anything can happen in this game.
So the 15-yard penalty, I'm guessing here, but the 15-yard penalty wasn't enough for the first down. So it's something you don't see every day. 1st and 1. So the sack was for 6 yards. Tack on the 15 yards. That'll bring up 1st and 1. If you're a coach, you got to love 1st and 1.
Oh, yeah. And Bailey's going back in the shotgun.
So the play stands, so it is actually 2nd down. It was a after the play personal foul. 5 wide receiver set, shotgun Bailey. Lewis has it in the flat. A lot of room to run, but this one's coming back, I believe. There's a flag thrown.
Boy, so we'll see Wood. They've been shooting themselves in the foot this entire second half. I mean, a couple big turnovers and penalties. They had the ball inside the 5-yard line, 1st and goal, and then ended up back about their 40-yard line.
And partner, so far in this one, we've seen a lot of penalties. And 9 turnovers, 5 for Vacaville, 4 for Wilsey Wood. So from 2nd and 1 and an easy first down, now it's going to be 2nd and 11.
Well, you said, how easy is that? You got a first down and a yard to go. Well, sorry, not anymore. Wood just making it more difficult to get back in this game.
And it's funny, as this game started out, it was Wilsey Wood's sideline that was going crazy, and now it's been quiet over there on the home side, and the Vacaville crowd, a lot to cheer about here tonight.
Yeah, Vacaville, they're just grinders. I mean, they just play smash mouth football. They're going to run, and they're going to wear you out. They're doing it to Wood tonight, just like they did to Napa 2 weeks ago. I wonder how that game's going up in Napa with Vintage and Napa going at it. Vintage, they were kind of rooting for Wood tonight, hoping they might be able to get the upset. And if they were able to knock off Napa, and boy, I saw Napa and Vintage, that looked like a pretty even matchup to me. Vintage would also get a share of the male title, but Wood not helping their cause tonight.
Not only was there a holding penalty that was 10 yards, And then there was a personal foul after that, so tack on another 15. So you go from 2nd and 1 to 2nd. I can't even count that high.
And I think Wood, did they have any penalties in the first half? I don't think they had any
they did
penalties.
Have 4 penalties on Vacaville, none for Wood. And Coach Mraz is not happy.
And he shouldn't be. If you're going to have a successful program, you've got to make sure your guys are disciplined and not making needless mistakes that just make your plight even more difficult. But that's all part of the growing process. Coach Mraz in his 4th year, and what an outstanding job. And as you said, that undefeated JV team, and they have 11 underclassmen starting on offense and defense in this game.
So 2nd and a long 30 for Will-C Wood. Herbert, shotgun, nowhere to go, taken down for the sack is Wyatt Faulkner in the backfield.
And the snap was a little bit wide. Herbert, the great athlete that he is, excellent job being able to one-hand that and keep that one from getting away, but no chance to do anything. It almost looked like he might have been doing a little kick on 3rd down, not quite sure. Got a score there, partner?
I didn't get that score, but we were talking about Jake Browning, the Folsom quarterback, made history tonight, threw for 4 touchdowns, 56 passing touchdowns on the season for Browning, a new California record for high school football in a single season.
Unbelievable. 56, did you say?
56. So 3rd and a mile. Herbert not in anymore. That was Bailey. This one tipped up, and it's caught by Lewis. Actually, it might have been double 2 there on the reception. Tristan Keegan.
Boy, he's been catching everything tonight. Unfortunately, it doesn't help Wood much. They don't pick up nearly enough. And so now they're going to probably give this ball back to Wood. Things a little quieter than they were in the first half.
Yeah, 28-21 halftime score. Like, okay, we got a chance to get a game here, and Vacaville's just dominated. Bailey gets this one, and it's going to roll out at the 34-yard line. That's where Vacaville will begin. So they are 5:53 away from winning their 5th straight Mel title outright, and their 26th straight Mel game, which is a Monticello Empire League record.
Yeah, I believe you and David were talking earlier. The last loss Vaca had, I believe, was to Napa back on November 7th in 2008. That was the week before that thrilling come-from-behind victory they had over Wood, really the only opportunity that Wood has had to beat Vacaville in the last decade. Chances look pretty good tonight. Looked even better after the first quarter, but now kind of waning away. It's going to be tough for them to get a piece of the Mel title.
Run this one up the gut for a gain of about 3 yards, and that was DeMontre Moore once again. And what a game he's had over the century mark here tonight. And a lot of guys have carried the load for Vacaville. Him, Kane Cunningham, and also Demetrius Nunez. Canales had 2 rushing touchdowns too.
You know, Zach, I was kind of looking back at some of the players in that game we did in 2008, and you look at the guys that Vacaville had in their backfield then. Quincy Forte and Malik Earl were sophomores, and then you also had Quincy Forte, as I just said.
This one up the gut for about a yard.
Markel Williams also on that team, and the great Jimmy Hines.
And I remember Jimmy Hines, I believe he went and played for Contra Costa. I
And
think
really-
Markel Williams might have gone to Sac State.
Absolutely right. And Markel Williams, he's played a lot as a defensive back last couple years at Sac State. Not sure where Jimmy Hines is. I know he was at Contra Costa for a couple years and didn't do a whole lot, just kind of didn't fit that offensive system. And here at Vacaville, especially with the running backs, very unique system. Doesn't mean that translates well when guys go on to the next level.
Hecking hits this one, breaks the tackle. And I believe that was DeMontre Moore with the reception. And we're going to get a late flag, and it's going to be on 17. Adam Cunning, kind of a face mask and personal foul.
Boy, nice grab by DeMonte Moore. And then he took a lick. I think it was from 22. Keegan again. He's the one guy that's been all over the field for the Wildcats, but DeMonte Moore shook it off and kept going. And now another penalty against Will C. Wood. So Will C. Wood just kind of self-destructing. And boy, that's part of the learning process when you're trying to create a winning tradition. And really it comes down to how well you learn about dealing with adversity.
So the last score I saw with Napa and Vintage, 21-7 Napa, and that was in the second half. This one goes up the gut. Kane Cunningham bounces it outside, and he is going to be taken down inside the 15-yard line, close to the 10.
That was a good-looking run by Kane Cunningham. Nothing flashy, but excellent vision, and really used his blockers well as he was just weaving his way towards the far side of the field. Huge pickup for the junior.
So, partner, if Vacaville has a home game in the playoffs, are we going to do that game? Or
that, or we're also thinking about maybe doing a Vanden game if they get a home game. If you check out Chelsea's college football update that was on last week, you can catch it on our Solano College YouTube channel or on our Solano College Sports Network Facebook page. Two of the coaches for Vanden visited with Chelsea on that show, had a chance to chat with them after.
Chelsea, did you go with Alabama or did you go with LSU? All right, so our girl Chelsea bet the house on Alabama this Saturday, tomorrow.
Well, the reason why, though, she was a little hesitant because she wanted Oregon to win. She wanted that matchup.
And Oregon, they had that every game. The Ducks just threw out a goose egg and shut out for 3.5 quarters.
And even you look at a program like Oregon, so successful over the last 5-6 years, but even Oregon still learning how to win that big game. And when they've had those big games this year against Stanford, last year against Stanford, the championship game a couple years ago against LSU, just getting to that point where you're playing your best when it matters most.
Cunningham bounces it outside, coughs it up, and I believe Vacaville jumped on that one. So the only mistake Kane Cunningham has made all night, and it doesn't matter.
Boy, 6 turnovers for Vacaville, even though Kane recovered that one, so we won't count it. We'll say 5, but you're still leading 42-24. That's a pretty dominant performance. And boy, what do you say about Coach Mike Papadopoulos? He's done an outstanding job here, and probably more pressure for Papadopoulos when he took over the program, I believe in 2003, maybe 2004.
2005 is his first year.
2005, there we go. But following a very successful program. So in that situation, you have to keep the program going, and boy, he's done an outstanding job.
This one goes up the gut, and it's going to be about a yard shy, and Demetrius Nunez on the carry. Under 2 minutes to go here. 2nd and goal. Vacaville is going to move to 5-0 for the 5th straight season. It'll be the 5th straight outright meld title for Coach Papadopoulos, and it'll be number 7 in his career.
And while we have a moment, Zach, thanks for coming back and helping us out here. Solano College Sports Network, where you got your start, now working at Max Preps. How you liking that?
Loving it. Get to talk about high school football, high school basketball, hardwoods coming back up. So be doing a few basketball shows here coming up in the near future and covering Dallas and New York. And kids can ball out in Dallas and also out in New York too. So looking forward to that.
And if we wanted to watch one of your shows, of course, I know you're covering the Dallas area and covering the New York area on the East Coast. And so where would we go to watch one of your shows about the high school programs in those areas?
All you got to do is go to youtube.com/MaxPreps. As Vacaville's taking a knee, just going to run the clock out here. Just go to youtube.com/MaxPreps. And once you get to that part of the page, just go ahead and click on the Max Wire section and all the Dallas and New York Max Wires. Yours truly.
And how happy do you think our other broadcast partner, David Taub, is right now? I think he might have been a little worried in the first half. He's probably feeling pretty good now.
The funniest thing was watching him call the game, and he's throwing his hands up, cheering, and he's trying not to say anything. But, yeah, I mean, he's got to be stoked.
And David's working his way down on the sideline. He's going to try to get an interview with a couple of Vacaville players.
Who would you say is player of the game? I mean, it's got to be 6, right?
Yeah.
Or
DeMonte
Kane
Moore.
Cunningham, too.
You could always take Mewborn, too. Even though didn't have the game we expected, still had some pretty sensational runs tonight. And Chad Hecking.
Yeah.
Very solid game. And, you know, we don't talk enough about him and his ball handling skills. You watch Chad Hecking, and just a junior, so he'll be back at the helm at quarterback, although number 1, DeLon Stevens, might have something to say about that. That's going to be a great competition there. And it looks like the clock is winding down, but Hecking, outstanding game tonight. Almost like a point guard at times running that offense.
And also, too, 2 other guys real quick that had big games were the 2 DBs. Jonathan Burke and then also DeAndre Lewis both came up with some big-time plays. Also, DeLon Stevens, the other corner who was in the quarterback race with Hecking this year, had a big-time game also.
Well, I think David is ready for his post-game interview, so we're going to send it down to the field, and we'll see who David Taub has to interview. We'll be right back after the interview to close the game out.
I'm here with head coach Mike Papadopoulos from Vacaville High Bulldogs. Pop, how does it feel to come away with your 7th MEL title in 8 years?
You know, I'm really just happy for the kids and what they've done throughout the season. It's been quite a journey for them, and they're great students of the game. It's just been great chemistry for us, and it's just something that continues to perpetuate. They do a good job. They buy into what we're trying to do, work hard, and it's been a nice situation.
Yeah, obviously you have a great team on your hands, and this Wilsey Wood Wildcat team was able to go up 14-0 early in the first quarter, but after the beginning of the second quarter seemed to be all the Vacaville High show. What do you attribute that to?
You know, kids, they came out with a pretty good scheme early. Took us a little bit to figure out what they were doing. We were getting great information from the kids as they were coming off the sideline too, and we were able to put those pieces of the puzzle back together and start executing. We put the darn ball on the ground way more than we should, which you know, score probably might have been a little bit different too, but no, for the most part they did a nice job executing.
And you brought it up before I did, but we had 6 turnovers tonight and still were able to win by almost practically 20 points. What do you attribute that to?
You know, just the kids being patient and knowing that they're capable of coming back even when things aren't going real well.
Definitely.
You know, and when you you put the ball on the ground way upfield, you know, it's not a scheme issue. We just got to protect that thing a little bit better.
Definitely, and a lot of guys came away tonight with big performances. A lot of guys that didn't have the last name, Mewborn, Connor Canales, Kane Cunningham, and especially young DeMonte Moore had a huge impact on this game. Just how important were they to tonight's victory? You
know, just as we talked about earlier, we knew just the things that we do for a couple of our positions, and it was kind of the fullbacks night is what they gave us tonight, and they had a big night, kind of by committee.
Definitely by committee, and with tonight's win, sealing up the MEL title outright, you guys also seal up a home playoff game for this upcoming week. How important is it to have that first playoff game here in Tom Zunino Stadium?
You know, it's always exciting for us to be here at the Z in Vacaville, and just we're going to wait until about 4:30, 5 o'clock tomorrow to see who it is, and we'll just continue to learn tomorrow morning where we're at and fix the little things that we can right now until we find out who our opponent is. We're really excited to be home.
Thank you very much, Pop. Congratulations on a good win tonight.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the MEL title.
Well, thank you, David. Outstanding interview there with Coach Papadopoulos, getting another big win, another MEL title in the books. Well, we sure hope you enjoyed our broadcast here on the Solano College Sports Network. For everyone in our broadcast crew, for Zach Poff, David Taub, and Greg Poff here on the Solano College Sports Network, from Tom Zunino Stadium, once again, the Vacaville Bulldogs take care of business for the 17th time, beating the Wood Wildcats 42-24. Make sure and catch us next week on the Solano College YouTube channel or on our Solano College Sports Network Facebook page as we bring you Solano Volleyball. Big game for the Solano Lady Falcons. Bay Valley Conference Championship on the line as they take on Alameda. We'll have that game for you next Wednesday. We'll see you then. Good night now.